Welcome to the Four Brewers podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I am joined by
Jason Harris,
Cherry Bomb, Greg Nagel.
Uh-oh.
That's it.
What just happened?
You're fired, Joe. You're fired.
Joseph Senegalia's mic's not working.
Joseph.
This week on the show, go ahead, Jason. What?
Nobody else. Nobody else.
Not me.
This week on the show, we are featuring beers from Liquid Gravity Brewing Company. Not for any specific reason, only because they got brought up on a previous episode, and we decided to buy some of their beers because I don't know if I've ever had any of their beer.
I think I maybe did the Pale from the Crypt during one of our COVID shows.
I was introduced to Liquid Gravity during COVID because they were one of the breweries who started shipping beers, and I had heard they were good, and I got their West Coast IPA and thought it was absolutely fuego.
I want to say there was a collab thing they did with Michelini or something, like right when they opened. Does that sound familiar to anyone?
I don't know. I wish I would have had that.
Yeah, it was like I hadn't heard of these guys. I think Michelini did collabs with like 4 different breweries, and then there was like a 4-pack that went out.
Bad thing about Michelini is it's a hard word to spell.
Is it?
Yeah.
What are we saying?
It's like spelling Matt Brynildson. Like speaking of San Luis Obispo, it's Brynildson. Is it Brynildson or is it Sen? Is it Y or an I? Like you don't know. You have to look it up every time.
John and I were trying to figure out how to say Stefan's name from everywhere last week. How do you say it, Greg?
I say Stefan.
Dang it.
No, you don't, Greg, because last week you said Stefan, and because me and Joe, we were like, it was a good 5-minute text message thread.
I say Stefan because of Jack Stefanovic from the old commercials from back in the 80s of the plumber guy. I forget. Jack Stefanski. Jack Stefanski.
Yeah. And then the guy comes out and Stefan.
Well, I said Stefan. So if you hear this, I apologize if I said your name wrong.
It's all good.
There goes the retweet, Jason.
Stefan, sorry, bro.
So yeah, they did a beer in 2021 called Welcome to Alpine. It was a collab with Pat and Sean Michelini. I think right before Michelini Brewing opened.
Oh my gosh, you just reminded me that I hated Liquid Gravity for a little while. Oh, dang it. They did a second so they did the Welcome to series and they did their first 4 beers, which were great, and then they did a second release, and there was a collab with Zach I think he was he at Shred already? Anyways, they put the beers out and you could order them online, and I ordered mine, and it took them 3 weeks to ship it, and I asked them to cancel my order just because I was like, I didn't want to be that guy who was like, I don't want 3-week-old beer, but I wanted it to like drink it really, really fresh. They waited 3 weeks to ship my beer, and then it took like a week and a half to get here. So by the time I got it, it was like a month and a half old. I'm like, dude, fuck. So I was like, I'm never buying Liquid Gravity beer again. I was like sending emails, nobody responded. I was like, dang it. And so yeah,
these shipped like within I want to say 12 hours of me ordering it. Like that morning they shipped.
Yeah, people got these things super fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did we get on them? It's just they came up when we were talking about slow.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were I forgot. I think it was
during the TD&E show, right?
Yeah, it was definitely during their design.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what do we know about them? Because I didn't do any research. Does anybody?
Greg, did you do any research?
I looked on Google Maps where they're located, and I did a street view of their charming little brewery up in San Luis Obispo.
I've been there.
And,
it's nice.
Are they across from
it's on a cool little street.
Are they across from a mobile home park, Greg?
They sure as fuck are. Right there. Then they're vintage too. It's not like like so, your grandpa and grandma living. It's like a hipster,
nice
old school RV park. That's I don't know. We should go check it out sometime.
Their brewery's really cool. They have a little stage. They do live music in there and stuff. It's like an indoor outdoor space. It's in San Luis, so the weather's always good. So
yeah, and it looks like they just bought another brewery up because if you search them on Google Maps, 2 locations come up now, and one up north in San Luis Obispo looks it's from another place. Like the street view shows another brewery there, so it looks maybe recent.
There are other locations in Orchid. Yeah.
Speaking of buying breweries, if
anybody
wants to be my work neighbor, Helia Brewing in Vista is for sale right now.
I hadn't even heard of them.
Helia. Wow.
Santa Maria.
They don't even have they're weirdly. I'm looking on their website. Usually, breweries will have like an about us or something.
About nothing.
No.
They're like, hey, our liquid, we just keep dropping it on the ground, and they're like, what should we call the brewery?
About us. Fuck you. Come hang out. You'll find out.
Newton's Brewery? No, that's too lame. Newton's? No.
All right, we got an article in Beer Paper, so let me skim and figure out. We have a.
You should have AI'd it and just been like, tell us about gravity.
Brendan Go, Gough, Go. Guh, I don't know. Brendan Go.
He's related
Brendan
to Van
and Celeste, it looks like.
Abundanza.
Hey.
Okay, so we've learned nothing so far about Liquid Gravity, but we do know their beer is good because Joe's had their beer before. So we're going to start off with, naturally, we had to order 6 different 4-packs to get a case shipped. So we're starting off with their lager, and got some info here on the lager. Not much. It's 5.4% alcohol, and that's all it says on Untapped as far as
it looks like a Munich Helles.
So some interesting bits that I'm real-time gleaning out of this Beer Paper article. They won a GABF Gold in 2015 for Monterey Street Pale Ale. 2016 World Beer Cup Gold for Lucky Day IPA. 2016 GABF Gold for General Schwartz beer. GABF Silver for Monterey Pale Ale. So the Monterey Pale seems like it's their big winner.
On Untapped, if you click on the brewery on Untapped, it gives you the overall rating of the brewery, and they have a 3.97 overall rating, which is pretty great.
That is pretty good
overall rating. Like, that's nice.
That's real nice.
It's really nice, John. I like that we're doing a skimming the surface of San Luis Obispo with previous shows in this.
It's a good spot for beer, man. What's that other brewery that made those super sour beers? They were like on a pier or something. The restaurant, like,
wow.
What was their name?
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, guys. The Central Coast Brewing was where those other metals were from, and then the person who founded this brewery was from there, and he now then started the Liquid Gravity a couple years ago.
Okay.
Cool.
Does it say what did you say they started? What year was it?
I want to say it's like 2020. Like they're just a few years old.
Dude, so it was right in the middle. So yeah, that makes sense. They would be shipping beers we just opened and then everything shut down, so we got to stay alive.
Yeah, that's
interesting. Interesting. Helles. What do you guys think?
Joe mentioned that I think before we started that it smelled sweet. I'm not really getting that. And I was not really in the mood for a sweet lager. I talked about that on last week's episode. For me, this is just really clean, really tasty, really crisp, a little bready, but it doesn't smell sweet. I mean, it's a very well done lager.
I definitely get the bready thing. It's so bready, and surprisingly, it's got a little bit of a bitterness kick for a Helles.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bite to it.
Yeah, it's very champagne-like. I think, like when I first poured it, it just hit my glass like champagne does. It kind of like exploded in head and kind of really quickly retracted like champagne does.
My head
There is
away pretty much.
No.
There is a little bit of that green apple-y flavor.
Thank you. Gosh, I didn't want to say anything, but thank you.
Not necessarily. I don't take it as an off flavor per
No.
se. I don't think it's hurting it, but there is a little tiny hint of that in this beer.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you when I opened my can, it smelled like a Granny Smith. That's the green one, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what it smelled like to me, which I perceived as sweetness, but it doesn't taste like that.
I do get a hint of it on the back of the palate, like that green apple-y flavor.
I'm saying
But
it
again,
smelled
in a way
green
that it works. This is a liter beer for sure. I could drink a liter.
You
of
know,
it.
I do get that green apple thing, and not in like
Jolly Rancher.
What's the off thing for apple? Is that
acetaldehyde?
Acetaldehyde, yeah.
Yeah, it's not in that kind of way. It's it's like
Yeah,
in
I
a
don't get
very
acetaldehyde.
nice, bright way.
It's like a
Yeah, I
fruity
get more of
sweetness.
like those like Jolly Ranchers, those Apple Johnny Rancher. Just a hint though, just a kiss. Just a
But
little kiss.
you're right, Greg. Like there's a little bit of like a bitterness on the finish of that.
Right? For a Helles, it's like it cleans up.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
They say this is or wait, is this the no, that's the next one, Crispy Life. Okay, my bad. Ignore me.
This is the Lager.
Lego.
Yeah, pretty good. Good start to the show. Great Munich Helles from Liquid Gravity. Yeah, really good.
I mean, if you could pull off a Helles, you can pull off any beer in my mind. That's like the bean and cheese burrito at any Mexican restaurant test.
Dude, have you seen the guy on there's like a social media dude who does every day a different bean and cheese burrito, like trying to find the best bean and cheese burrito. It's the it's
oh,
the
really?
best thing. Yeah, he goes everywhere.
Like, I've done that in my 20s.
I'm a big fan of
burritos. They aren't that easy to make.
Right?
It's all about the beans. You know, you got to get the right flavors in the beans.
You got to get the right cheese and the right tortillas.
Hey,
Miguel's Jr. is a good, like, easily accessible bean and cheese burrito. You can get everywhere.
Those things are like a pillow.
Yeah, do you guys have Miguel's Jr. down there?
Yeah, we do.
San Diego?
I don't.
Don't bother. They have lard in the beans, Joe. So.
Oh,
But it is a good
Big-
burrito.
Big if true.
I mean, lard probably makes it.
Yeah,
It does. I had fucking sombreros when I was down there for the first time a few months ago. It was bad.
Dude, that's the best part about that is it's like shitty punk rock music and shitty Mexican food, but it's good. It just works.
It makes sense that Blink would like a shitty Mexican spot.
But they only ate bean. What was it?
There's
beans,
better
rice, and
locations
cheese
than sombreros.
burrito. Which
There's
sombrero
one in
did you go to,
Spring-
Jason?
I don't know. I just got it.
Spring Valley has a really good one.
I was pretty close to Qualcomm, and I just got it on my
Yeah,
fucking
that's the one. Yep,
Grubhub or whatever.
that's the one we used to hang out. My wife had a apartment over there, and we used to go over there all the time. Just because.
Yeah,
Just because.
We had to, dude.
Did you listen to UL and DHC?
I made collect calls from the road.
You know what's weird? I had to explain like long distance to the kid the other day. I was like, in the old days, it used to cost money to call people who were far away.
Call 0 on your dial rotary phone.
In the context of phone freaking, I was like, we were talking about like hacking and stuff, and I was like, well, this used to be a thing to get free long distance. Hold on, so long distance.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling the kids because I'm in the cellular world as far as work goes. Like there used to be a thing where it was nights and weekends free, so you had to wait till a certain time to make cell phone calls, so you didn't have to pay for them.
You had to pay
I'd
per
be like-
text message.
I'd tell my girlfriend, I'd be like, I can't call you until after 5 o'clock. I'm sorry. money's a little tight this month.
You're like 1976.
There was a weird thing that happened when I lived with my parents. I was on their house phone, and somehow our like lines got mixed up, and I was listening to phone calls from different people.
That's
So
awesome.
I would listen to, and I could talk to them too. So I would sit there and just be quiet and listen, and that phone call would end, and then I'd immediately get patched in on another phone call. It was bizarre. But
You probably heard like you're
3
like a
hours.
therapist, dude.
Hello,
And
Martha.
then I would like while I was listening, I'd
sure miss you,
randomly say
Martha.
things like "what," and then someone would like repeat what they said, and like it was like kind of like a Howard Stern. I don't know what's that thing that Sal does? The confusion phone calls where they're placing 2 orders and they're talking to each other.
Yo, that's the best, dude.
It was kind of it was really cool. But then I finally
Joe's here.
Close to that, I got I was at a Barnes and Noble earlier, and there was an old lady yelling into her cell phone for a good 20 minutes, just like, the doctor says I have the diabetes and I need to exercise. And I told him that I go to work, but he said work isn't exercise, so I guess I need to do different exercise. So it's kind of like your experience.
Same kind of thing.
I swear to God. Sometimes you go out shopping and you're surrounded by NPCs, right?
Yeah.
Like, how are these people real? How is this real?
I was like across the goddamn store. And it's a Barnes and Noble. It's a pretty big store. And I'm just hearing this lady like yelling about her diabetes. And she said diabetes like Wilford Brimley.
The beatus will get you.
And those are like, you kind of treat bookstores like a library. I mean, not as quiet, but like you know, because people are, you know, it's kind of a low key atmosphere. So for someone to just be screaming on their phone, that's pretty funny.
She's just like, oh, there's free chairs here, anyways. So we doing the Crispy Life, boys?
Yeah. Up next, we're drinking Crispy Life. This is their 4.8% alcohol by volume Pilsner. They don't have any information on.
They do. There's a little bit on their website. So it is a traditional German-style Pilsner brewed with Saphir and Tettnang hops. And tasting notes.
Does it say anything about tasting like bread?
No.
Bread.
Speaking of long distance calls, that sounded like a dial tone.
Wow,
everyone's here today. I love it.
Is that Ned Ryerson?
Has Nathan Ryerson ever?
The head brewer and co-owner of Friction Beer Company. We need to do a Friction.
Kansas City, right? They're Kansas City.
Yeah, dude. Let's we should do a Friction show.
I'm sure he's fucking tired of Ned Ryerson jokes from Groundhog's Day, but I'm not.
Ned?
It's new to me. Ned the head? Watch that first step. It's a doozy. Anyways, sorry.
This beer does not smell like green apples.
This one's got more of a bitter bite to it for me.
It's bready bitter bread.
Earthy, a little bit on the flavor.
Look at you, earthy. I like it. Wet hay.
What is that? It's like a
sugar-coated lemongrass.
Sugar cookies.
I'm just checking out the nose. It's definitely got those earthy, like Tettnang, earthy herbal. And Saphir is also up in that vein of like super earthy herbal.
Yeah, it's got that dank hoppy character of a European Pilsner. Not like it kind of is a little bit bordering towards the Czech Pilsner style, but I feel like it's more in line with it's definitely more hop character than I expect out of a German Pils. What do you think, Greg? You're the German expert.
I think it's more fruity too, which I don't know what I would attribute that to. Maybe the malt. I don't know if you're using
Saphir hop, or I don't know what's Saphir hop.
Saphir is like what Pivo Pils uses. It's sort of like a Saaz sort of knockoff. I don't know. It's very German, noble, European, continental hop that has all, checks all those boxes of earthy, floral, herbal.
Listening to you guys say Saphir over and over, like how come nobody's ever brewed a beer called Tupac Saphir? It needs to happen.
I don't know, but back when Matt was on the show, we'd have like a list of beer names that we would keep in the back of our heads, and that would be a good one for sure.
I don't know why my brain went there.
And then you have to release the beer in 2 packs. So.
Are you guys detecting any zesty, citrusy, and herbal hop character?
Herbal for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Do you get citrusy?
It's very chamomile tea almost.
How about a soft graham cracker malt presence and a crispy scratch that extra crispy finish?
It's very crispy.
Greg dropping chamomile. Little Gwen Stefani just sipping on chamomile.
No, so these are interesting. Trying them back to back.
Just double fisted. I love it.
Ha!
Chug them both.
The French.
You know what's weird is I would tell you this beer is hoppier than the first one, but then going back to the first one and then back, it's actually tastes about similar.
Drinking
they're combining in my head
side by side. I think I prefer the first one more, the Helles. I don't know why.
Same. Yeah,
it's a little bit more crushable. This one's a bit more challenging, I think, for a Pilsner.
It feels a bit more like flavorful too, if that makes sense. That's just kind of like a bland descriptor, I know, but it just seems like a more flavorful beer.
Yeah, I wonder what the yeast is that they're using.
I don't. Maybe that's what has to do with it. But it's like super fruity for me, and I don't like it. I mean, I think it's a good beer, but I don't like the level of fruit that I'm getting off of it, and that's what's making it challenging for me.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet now that I'm drinking it after the regular lager. The hell is?
I quite dig it.
I keep saying sweet like fruity. My words are not used well.
Would you say citrusy?
Yeah, citrusy.
Not with 2 S's though. Then it's weird.
Yeah, their description says it has an herbal hop character. I definitely get that too. More on the nose, I think. An earthy nose, yeah, and I wouldn't buy this again. It's not for me. It's not a bad beer. It's just not for me. I want something that's a little more flat and dialed down for, at least that's how I feel right now. Tomorrow, maybe
What's surprising is I drink a lot of Bitburger because it's cheap and it's delicious. And you'd be surprised how hoppy that beer is. Going from just like a local, like even a West Coast or Italian Pils or something like that, and you bust open a Bitburger, and it's so freaking like so hoppy. It's like hay and fresh cut grass, and but it's so clean and very crisp. And I think that's something that a lot of like local Pilsners just sort of miss, that razor thin line of how crisp and clean those lagers can get. It's not bad, but it's
I think
fine.
The polarizing thing on this beer is going to be that the hop character like lingers on your back palate after you drink it. Like it's been a second since I took a sip of this beer, but it's still hanging out on the palate. Like it's not a lager that just gets out of the way and is there to be like crushed. Like it is a beer that is like, no, I'm here. There's hop presence here. And in an old school way, like a classic European kind of hop bitterness, not like the chat just mentioned Timbo, like not in that modern way we're using the modern varietals. So it's a little bit challenging for the style.
Yeah. I would say that the one thing is the bitterness really hangs out for a really long time.
It does. It lingers like, quite a bit. Yeah.
Hanging around.
All right, Crispy Life. I'm over.
Greg, you got a little bit of like a hum happening when you talk.
Yeah. I think it's my fan here.
Hey.
Is it?
Sorry, it's hot in here.
Down a little bit.
I did.
I'm also a fan, Greg.
He's got his vibe. He's got his vibe going.
I turned the fan off.
Knock it down.
I'm a big fan.
I was just seeing how long I can get away with it, honestly.
I've heard it for like the last 10 minutes, but I'm like, okay. Because I thought maybe it was something that was in the background that would go away. But
John, it's hot here.
At the 24-minute mark, make a note.
It's like
that I turned my fan off.
Put that in the show.
I have a little button under my desk here that turns on the air conditioner to 68 degrees when I'm getting hot in my room.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
I just yell at the Google machine to do that.
I could do that too, but
cool. The fuck
hey, Google.
I'm like
68.
Hey, well, not 68. Holy fuck.
Hey, Google 69.
I thought I kept my house cold, but Jesus, 68.
You walk in, John's like, "Can I?"
Oh my God, Google's talking to me.
Well, it's upstairs, so and this room,
so that each person's mouth is near the other's genitals, so that each partner can simultaneously
what is happening?
perform oral sex on the other.
my phone just answered my question.
69.
Yeah, I said, "Hey Google, said it's 69."
That is fantastic.
Hey
Holy
Google,
smokes!
set it to 69.
The other person's genitals can.
Sure.
okay.
Thanks, Google.
Sure. Okay.
Google explains.
Google's fucking
the funniest shit, dude.
Google's patronizing you right now. Yeah, sure, I'll do that, dude.
I love that the picture had just a big 69 on it in pink. Like, what? It's where the other person puts their genitals and the other person in each other's mouth.
At the same
why
time.
Is 69? Like, why did it put a 6 and a 9? I mean, I understand what a 69 is, but why did they have to put the actual numbers on it?
They got to give you an image of it.
Illustrate it, dude.
It's an image.
Well, they could have put like a picture of people actually doing it. With stick figures or something.
Between that and the beer we got coming up later, we got all the funny numbers.
Oh my God.
Are we doing the pale ale next, you guys? I feel like
blood orange. Blood orange.
How are we on a fucking fourth show on our first show?
Dude, by the way, have you guys noticed that none of these cans are dated? Like, that just
I
has
did
a
notice
weird...
that.
I don't like that, dude. I don't like it.
No,
I have something.
And I don't want to be that guy,
What's
but
this thing?
fuck, man.
this should be an industry standard at this
It
point.
has to
I
be.
can't even talk right.
Dude, dates on cans and ABV. It has to happen. It just has to.
I would say mine has a 243. I would assume this or
But what is the 066
243. I would think it
BOW?
would be made in March of 24.
What's the other stuff?
I'm guessing.
066 BOW?
It's probably like some weird canning thing.
Yeah, that's dumb. Tell me when the fucking
75
Brewers-
till 299. I don't know.
Wait, yours says 299?
Yeah.
Well, there goes that theory, Greg.
This other one
'Cause-
has a 24 in it. And it, I look for the number
John's
24.
John's was brewed in September of 2029. Did you know that?
Yeah. Future beer.
Holy shit! In the year 2000.
That's exactly right, Joe. Fucking put a date on the can, guys.
So the IPA has a date on mine. It's
That's good. Way to go. Liquid Gravity.
for something 2024. Maybe they
April?
just added that.
No, that can't be right. We just bought those.
I don't know, man.
Really?
I'm not making it.
I
up.
mean, none of these have tasted old. The
No.
first two tasted very fresh.
The
This
IPA
no,
for me is June 20. So
Ooh,
still fresh. I mean,
this
yeah,
looks
I think-
fruity.
dude, this
It's
smells.
got that blood orange.
This smells orangey.
We need to watch our language according to Children's Street Com.
How do I watch it?
Maybe if you turn captions on.
Oh yeah, can we put the CCs on?
Watch your language, everyone.
watch it.
Okay. I was just quoting Google.
Yeah, Google.
you didn't hear our pre-show.
So they describe this blood orange wheat as a refreshing wheat beer that favors hoppy notes over yeast character.
I would agree with that. This
Oh.
is very refreshing, and I like that it doesn't smell artificial.
Wow, this looks orange. Jesus. Am I?
Yep. Watch
Holy
your language.
I don't know if that comes. No, it just looks like beer on the camera.
Yeah. You
Looks
can
like
definitely
beer.
tell there's an orange sort of hue to it.
Yeah.
Like a not blood orange, but definitely you get that like blood orange character in there, which kind of comes across as like a caramelized honey note almost.
I like the nose of this beer, dude. I think it smells
Honeysuckle.
good.
Mhm.
Especially
Yeah,
in warm.
definitely.
Like this is a good warm weather beer.
Man, I wish more people made like flavored wheat beers again because they're so refreshing in the summer.
When's the last time you had an orange wheat beer?
Dude, the
I would say-
ODub back in like 2012.
Dude, I went to a Logan's Roadhouse the other day. Because those rolls are amazing. But the their beer selection was like fucking weird as shit. It was like 6 lagers and Hangar 24 orange wheat. It was like the Salty Life lager, the fucking Stone lager, the American Pilsner or whatever.
Salty Crew lager?
Salty Crew, there you go. Yeah, that one. The one that like boat bros wear.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how those things catch on. Like, just it's so random. Like, it's like everyone with their Yeti stickers. It's like I don't know. It's weird. And I understand if you get like that and like the 805 stickers. Stickers are brilliant because you just seem like there's no reference to anything. You see Yeti. That's a
Yeti's like a middle class status symbol. It's like, yeah, I can afford a $300 cooler.
Yeah.
I drink my water out of.
I have like
$300.
I have 4 Yeti mugs and a Yeti water bottle.
Just let's pause and break the show for a second. Was that someone you knew, Joe?
I have no idea who that was.
Okay, because I saw they were just banned.
I have no idea who that was.
Sorry, I just banned him.
Oh, I have no clue who it was.
Just because they
They're
made
like,
that comment.
And they're like, you just swore again.
They're just spamming.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know who it was.
It just seems like
Just
spam.
doing a gimmick. Yeah.
That's fine.
Ooh, this is good.
This is the first time
I
we've
agree.
banned someone on YouTube. That's a milestone for us.
Jason,
Got
I think you and I were kind of saying when John said he was going to get this beer, we're like, no, don't do that because we're going to shit on it. I think Was it this beer? But it's good. I like this beer.
I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like orange wheat it's a style that was everywhere. Like orange wheat beers were everywhere. And now
then came the flavored IPAs.
And then when we went to the dive bar in Orange County, they're like, we'll sell you a fucking 32-ounce shock top for $6.
Yeah.
Please take this away. We need to get rid of it.
Totally.
Do you think they just started? Did orange wheat beers come from like people just brewing wheat beers and then throwing oranges in? Everyone's like, well, why do we have to put an orange slice in it? Let's just put orange in the beer.
I do think it was that.
Pretty much, yeah.
It came from Hangar 24, who their brewery is literally in the middle of an orange field in Redlands, California. Gotcha. And then, they bought, I don't know, just all the crappy looking fruit, dumped it in there, and they're like, this is pretty good.
It's not bad.
And it was, when it first came out, it was delicious.
To delve very deep into Inland Empire beer history, Hangar and Inland Empire Brewing Company were some of the old, like, first guys in town back. That's actually back where John and I first met.
We met at Inland Empire Brewing.
Inland Empire Brewing, and both of them were big on the like orange heritage of the area for sure. But I think orange in wheat beer grew out of, at the time, your Pyramids, your Blue Moons, your Widmer hefts were popular and everywhere, and the whole big thing was serving it with an orange slice, which I don't see that much anymore. Like, when's the last time you got served a beer with an orange slice in it?
Never an orange, always a lemon with a hef. When I grew up, drinking beers through the late 90s and early 2000s, and they were always pretty good. It didn't rely on the lemon to make the beer taste good. It was just like when you drink it and it comes to your nose, you smell a nice citrus thing,
and so
pleasant.
With a Belgian wit, right? Which Blue Moon is a play on a Belgian wit. Orange peel, right, is part of the recipe, like the bitter orange peel. So there is an orange character to the beer traditionally. And I think in true American brewer fashion, they just were kind of like, what if we gave it all the oranges in the world?
Yeah, Refuge was the second one that I had. That was a blood orange beer as well. And that beer kicked ass.
They were big
really good
area,
packaging.
Yeah. Fantastic.
First to release one in a pint. Oh man, that beer was so delicious.
Yeah, they recently closed too. Well, I don't know if they closed. I know they closed their tasting room. I don't know if they closed the brewery itself. Owners of Refuge also were they owned SS Brewtech, and I think Brewtech, obviously SS Brewtech took off like immensely.
Yeah, for sure. That's like
started off
standard
making homebrew equipment, and then they moved into the professional space. And like the brewery that was at Refuge, the dude designed it himself and manufactured it like in China, and it was
that's great.
His equipment.
That was a cool brewery.
Beer Patrol in chat mentioned a couple old school ones like Buffalo Bill's Orange Blossom Cream Ale.
You can still buy that at Trader Joe's, I think.
And Lost Coast Tangerine Wheat, which that one was everywhere for a minute, and
that was pretty good.
Yeah, Lost Coast in general, I feel like they used to be on tap everywhere. That Great White was, they had that cool tap handle with the shark on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you can still find that every now and then.
This beer definitely has a lot of blood orange on it, but for me, it's coming off a little too sweet, and I kind of miss like the wheat ale part of it. You brought up Refuge, Greg, and their blood orange. Yeah. For me, that was, when I say it was good, it was standard. Like a really good wheat ale, but with like just the blood orange as like a supporting character and not like the feature. Even though it says blood orange wheat or whatever, it was more of a, I don't know. It wasn't like right up front. It was the perfect balance, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
It had mouthfeel from the citrus too, like a little pulpy.
I'm not getting hop or yeast character out of this beer. To go back to their description, it's really just feels like a delivery for the orangey flavor, right? That kind of fruit flavor.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's a good, summery beer. Which I do feel like people say that about beers that they're being dismissive of. You're like, well, it sucks dick, but on a hot day after you've been mowing the lawn, it's pretty good. Which I don't, but
after you're 69ing all day.
Yeah.
Watch your language.
Putting somebody's genitals in your mouth. I will say that this beer does have like a little kick of that like baby aspirin flavor to it, which I'm not fond of. That flavored tablets for kids.
Does this come off like not authentic blood orange, like more of like a
It seems like a puree puree thing.
I mean like what the not the puree, but not the concentrate. What am I trying to say? The company that makes those flavorings.
The Amaretti or whatever.
Yeah, Amaretti.
Okay.
Yeah.
It comes off artificial to me, and I think
it's weird because it didn't smell artificial. But you're right. Like when I first opened it and smelled it, I'm like, wow, this actually smells like orange. Like it didn't smell like car freshener. Like we were talking about that a couple of shows ago. Like it smelled like a car freshener.
And I think that's usually a sign that it's the artificial stuff when it's like liberally that fruit. Like it's like, oh, that smells exactly like the fruit. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you get away with using that stuff, but it seems like this is too much, and I'm not getting enough.
You can also tell when there's that stuff in using a beer because it clings in your glass after it's empty.
Oh, that's right.
I just can't get rid of it
now. Shit.
Oh, wow. Like it'll clog up a beer line. Like your beer line's going to taste like that orange.
Yeah, don't use that fake stuff, man. I'm not saying that's what they did here, but it sure seems like it. I mean, I don't know.
It's expensive to brew with real fruit, right?
Not good. It is, and I get like how you want to, subsidize that, and like with the coconut beer that Barley Forge did, where they literally could not use all coconut because it would soak up the liquid, and it was a complete waste of money. So, supplementing that with something, artificial or whatever. It's not artificial, but concentrate or whatever the hell. I can't think of the word. The puree, mixing that into the deal just to get more yield. Puree. I totally understand that.
And what's funny is the brewery after Barley Forge that came in there happened to make a beer identical to that that didn't use any flavorings. That was delicious. So
Green Cheek,
yeah,
The thing is, though, for the person buying the blood orange wheat, like, dude, I don't think they're buying for that buyer isn't going for like authentic fruit flavor. They're just kind of looking for something that tastes fruity and not super beery, right?
Yeah, this beer has an audience, right? So you're at the brewery with your mom or your grandma or something like that, and you're like, "Here's
that blood orange sweet beer.
Like
I want some of that blood orange.
Sonny, could you give me some of that orange, that blood orange wheat? That sounds so refreshing on a hot day. Nana's been through a lot today shopping with all the little kids today. Oh,
it's getting close to pineapple bread, Greg.
Pineapple bread.
Watch out.
Give me some of that pineapple bread beer.
File a trademark claim against your own character.
It's Grandma Brett. Nana Brett.
Oh yeah, washing that down with the lager. Did not like that beer. I will not be finishing that can.
John hates that beer. What shitty beer are we drinking next, John?
Up next, we are drinking. Up next from Liquid Gravity. Up next from Liquid Gravity, we are drinking Pale from the Crypt, which
from the Crypt
has a cool Tales from the Crypt kind of thing going on. Speaking of IP theft.
This is not IP on this beer. This is not IP theft, and that's actually fascinating because I remember. I swear we talked about this before, but no, the EC Comics logo on there—that's actually the people who own Tales from the Crypt. And if you read on the back of it,
Jason,
they actually licensed it, which is weird because the rights for Tales from the Crypt are like weirdly in constant litigation hell. So I swear we talked about this on the show because I think I drank this beer and we talked about this.
Yeah, that says Tales from the Crypt, issue number 46 from March of 1955.
But yeah, they actually, I guess maybe the license issues are regarding it in television or whatever, so they're able to license it for this. But they actually worked with EC Comics and got the Tales from the Crypt license, which is challenging to say the least.
Liquid Gravity, I apologize for my comment.
They did not thieve the IP. They wasted a lot of effort.
We got some head retention here, boys.
Also, cool ass label.
Super cool.
Oh, and we got some really nice smelling beer.
Reminds me of staying up late when I was little watching Tales from the Crypt on HBO.
I mean, so we've learned from that article that we're dealing with a brewer that won a bunch of GABF medals for a pale ale. So
this beer smells super citrusy to me.
Oh my god. The aroma on this is fucking massive.
I know. I will say this is a different glass too for my blood orange glass.
Super
That is
citrusy.
some hops right there.
And it's got a little bit of that mosaic dankness.
Oh, that's
Citra
got some
mosaic.
stinky.
The
like,
aroma on that is nuts.
Oh my god.
It's got some stinky.
No, it's like
It's got that fermented
Stinky
cheese, John.
oh,
It's got that 69 aroma.
that is a smelly beer. Wow.
Smelly cat.
Greg hasn't been weirdly horny on the show in a while, so it's good that Google brought
I'm
it
just
back
doing
for him.
callbacks, you guys. Is that all right? Callbacks from
Dude, it's
our Google
summertime, dude. Greg's feeling
our
it. I
Google
like it.
joke. Sorry, Gia, who's watching probably.
Do we do they
We're gonna
say
call him-
what hops are in this?
Citra mosaic on the can.
We're gonna
Oh,
change
it's
his
in
name
giant
to
letters.
Greg Cagle.
I'm like, how can I unlock the mystery of what fucking hops are in this beer? Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I'm so giggly.
First show, fourth show.
69 thing got me.
Dude,
This is funny, dude.
aren't Kegels
what
what
a-
women do? Like, yeah.
I do them all the time.
Greg
I'm doing them right
Cagle.
now. I do Kegels constantly.
That's Greg's horny name, dude. Greg Cagle.
You gotta capture your butthole energy as you're sitting there somehow.
Men should do Kegels too. Help that prostate out, man.
Capture that
squeeze it.
butthole energy. That's the name of the show.
Yeah, we're not getting that retweet. Like the Liquid Gravity boys are going to be like, first they shit on those loggers quite a bit. They had a whole weird 69 fucking
Sorry about
sidebar.
That was. How did they even come about? You're talking about 68 degrees and
Talking
then
about the thermostat. Yeah. How I set mine to 68
Wow.
when I'm upstairs. Speaking of which, it's fucking hot. God.
Yeah, and then you
it's warm.
told your robot to like make it 69 or something, and it's like make what? And so it was just like, all right, put your dick in a mouth and your mouth on a dick. So there
That
you
is
go.
definitely something that would not happen with Siri. Like, I'm sure there are multiple roadblocks to that being impossible.
no doubt. Oh god. Good beer though. Holy shit. I'm gonna keep this on my radar.
This beer's good, dude. I like it.
All right. Yeah, this this
What's
has
the
like
ABV?
5.5, I believe.
Okay.
That's wild, dude. It's super
Fucking
like
rad.
intense for that low of an ABV.
But
So
you know what?
hops aside, it's got like a nice soft like aroma to it. I don't know if that I've said that before, and I don't know if that makes sense to other people, but like it's not like a brash, like sharp hop bite on the nose. It very
smells like
light.
something that's soft.
Yeah, it does. Like pillows smell soft, I guess.
So you know
It
what's
smells like a
interesting is
pillow.
the Hoppy Pilsner is really having a moment right now. We fucking love them, right? And a lot of people will say, well, isn't that just a fucking pale ale, but something different? But this, while it has that big hop burst, like that hop profile of like a Timbo or the stuff from Green Cheek we tried or whatever. There is more body on this, and there is more of a malt profile where it does taste like a pale ale versus just being like a hoppy lager, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also says on the can they use torrefied wheat in the malt bill and caramel malt. Wow, these
Gives it just a little kick of body and sweetness.
Caramel malt making a rare appearance in a beer.
You can tell with that head, dude. That head is like boof.
But the color wouldn't. Does it look dark to you, John?
No, it looks it's still
it's very
pale.
light.
Yeah.
Remember those old school caramel malt bombs that were just like red ales?
Oh,
Yeah. The Northwest, the old school Northwest IPA and pale ale, right? But this is a world class pale ale. This is fucking great.
I'm gonna say I've had this beer before, and I think I must have had an older can because it was not like this beer at all. Unless something changed and they changed the recipe, I have no idea. This is nothing like the beer that I remember having.
Talk about a balance.
Came out and made a beer.
Yeah, I mean the bitterness to sweetness ratio on this is perfect. It's not like a lingering bitterness. It's bitter enough to kind of clean everything up, but still be not even challenging. Just like make it semi-crushable. It's
you know what's funny is enough to scratch that IPA itch. You know.
Yeah. This is a huge hop character, but the hops don't linger. Unlike the Pilsner earlier, where the hops just hang out on your palate. This cleans up really well.
Yeah, this is really good.
Really fucking good. Holy shit.
I don't want to drink anything else after this. Like, let's just end
I'm
the
gonna
show
order
here.
some more of this.
This is really good.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of this. Just like Joe.
I went back and tried the Crispy Life after this, and it's still real bitey compared to this beer.
Real bitey?
Yeah, it's got like that hop bite where this
it's using the teeth.
Where the hops in this are just huge flavor, huge aroma, not a lot of bitter. What a fucking great beer.
Wow. Yeah, for me, the theme on this beer is soft. It has that, again, I think that's the wheat character coming out on the aroma for me, but just totally like just a gentle pale ale, like it's, but super hoppy on the aroma, like incredibly hoppy. It's deceitfully hoppy, like it smells like an IPA, but it's not.
You're like, how did they get all that in there?
Yeah,
right.
Dude, as a home brewer, serious. Well, I've said it before, where it smells. This doesn't have that, but like you know how I don't know if Joe's ever brewed a beer, but when you open a bag of pellet hops and how that smells, like Firestone Walker is really good at capturing that essence in their aromas on their beers with hops. And I think to myself when I smell those, like, how the hell did they do that? Because I've made IPA and double, triple dry hopped, and I don't get that. Like, it's incredible. And this,
dude, when's the last time you finished a beer and had like a centimeter of head at the bottom of the glass? That's crazy.
So they have
this soap do you use, Greg? Just out of curiosity, because your glassware kicks ass.
I wash these with vinegar water. I actually douche my glass. Really show.
I use Summer's Eve to wash my glassware.
My glasses
you really
have
do use vinegar.
Not so fresh feeling.
Greg is the biggest douche on the show. Confirmed.
No, I'll put 50-50 vinegar and water in my sink with a hot, and then put all my beer glasses in there. I could put a bag in the sink and then
oh god, this is
douche my glasses. But yeah, it's really effective at cleaning glassware.
Okay,
because we're really hard water here.
When I was in sex ed in middle school, we had this like old Jewish lady science teacher, and the only memory I have of it was her saying, "Don't do the douche."
What?
She just said, "Don't do the douche."
Why did she say
funny, like I think you're not supposed to. I think it's good for you. It was like a thing in the 80s, but like people stopped doing it because it's not healthy. Yeah,
dick douche.
Anyhow, they have a fun quote from the EC Comics people, and I can't help but read it in the Crypt Keeper's voice.
Go for it.
And let's do that for you guys now. Pale from the Crypt is a dream come brew for EC. The people behind Liquid Gravity are big EC fan addicts, and they've poured so much love into this product. There you go. Kind of turned into the Joker there, but it did okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Very good.
Yeah.
You got the clap.
Boils and ghouls.
You got the clap.
Yeah, I've got the clap from the douche.
And the douche. What's that from? Anyone know? Parks and Rec.
Douche.
I'm
a big Tim and Eric fan.
The douche. Yeah, incredible beer. Very, very good. Liquid Gravity. I am absolutely impressed. And if this is your pale ale, then I'm looking forward to our next beer, which is their.
So we have 2 IPAs.
Straight up West Coast IPA. We have 2 IPAs. One's a collab they did with Market. But
dude, I do not want to like hype this beer too much, but the first time I ever had this beer, it was fucking awesome. So
I've got a hat of this hop logo that I really like. I got it at the brewery. Really nice.
How is their brewery? Did you tell us like what it's actually like being in there?
Yeah, it's nice. They have an indoor area. They have a cooler full of like non-alcoholic stuff. They have a bunch of beers on tap. I think they do I've really liked the modern trend of breweries where they do like light, dark, hoppy, and like a couple other categories, but they sort the beers that way. I really think that's a good way to display beer.
Same.
And they had an outdoor stage that's really nice. They had live music there. It's a cool spot. It was a really chill place. Crowd was cool. The staff was cool. Really fucking chill. If you're in Slow, these guys and There Does Not Exist are both dope.
Look at that
head. Look at that head.
The head is
telling you, I was joking about
2 fingers.
You
got to get the what's going on the bottom of the. I'm pointing at my screen. What's going on the bottom of your fucking glass, Greg? Got to get that vinegar. No, you got your finger over it now. There you go.
The bottom thing. Yeah.
Yeah. See, where's the vinegar now? You got to douche that glass.
That's from the
dude.
previous beer. Previous beer was in. Yeah. What's the name of this beer? I'm sorry.
IPA.
It's just called IPA.
Greg bullied me when I was making cocktails.
It's called IPA. It's got an IPA in it. They shipped it overseas to India.
So as far as the nose, not nearly as powerful as the pale ale, but still very good.
It's a way different hop.
Different
yeah, it's still powerful.
They list this beer as a GABF 2023 winner.
That makes sense because when I had this, I loved it. This smells Simcoe heavy to me though, but I don't know.
It's got that dank asparagus.
It's got like a caddy. Mine smells caddy too. Is there Simcoe in this, Jason? Does it show on the website?
It does not. Is it in a giant inset on the can that I missed?
Does it say?
No.
Oh,
here we go. Tropical fruit from a heavy dose of Mosaic, Citra, and Simcoe.
There you go. Simcoe. Yeah. We did it. We came
together.
What did this beer? That? They won a bronze in American style strong pale ale.
Wow.
Okay.
For this
American
beer.
style strong pale ale.
They also won gold for their Munich lager and a silver for their Imperial IPA.
Yeah, the nose of this is like it's got that funky hop thing, like you guys were saying.
Dank
previously.
Asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that smells good though.
It does. I love it. The way it smells.
This aroma would be like, this is great if we hadn't just gotten the like aroma bomb that was up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a tough follow.
Like it's not that this is bad. It's just that pale ale was like, holy fuck, how did they get so much hop aroma in this beer?
It's crazy.
And this smells great, but it just didn't get the aromatics the pale ale got.
Yeah.
It's funny because both these beers have Mosaic, and I think the IPA has more of like that blueberry thing on the palate, for me, anyways.
On the palate, for sure.
Dank, like blueberry thing that I get from Mosaic that I love.
The asparagus on the nose is really kind of bringing this down for me a little bit. It's just a little off-putting for me.
Do you also hate asparagus, John?
No, I don't.
I'm in John's boat here.
We actually did a show with a home brewer who made beer with asparagus. Just
really?
Came on our show just to like say, hey, I made a beer with asparagus. That's good, and it was really good.
It was fine. Yeah,
that was a beer.
Pickle beers are all the rage right now.
Have you guys drank this? Because it's fucking good.
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying. That blueberry, the blueberry thing in this is great. I love that part.
What's weird is when beer is bad, John will go out of his way to be like, it's not that bad. And I feel like we're having the opposite today where John's like, this beer is amazing, but I don't know about that asparagus.
No, I'm just saying that's the only thing that kind of
I'm not bullying you for having an opinion.
I'm in John's boat here. Like that dank asparagus thing, like for my palate, isn't my favorite thing, but I can I'll finish an IPA that has it. But I probably wouldn't buy this again because not my favorite hop load.
No, I love this beer. I love Simcoe. I'm like, this is extremely
the bittering on it's a little intense for my palate too. It's like
is it
pretty aggressive? Yeah.
I'm not even getting as much bitter as the goddamn Crispy Life. The Crispy Boy is fucking killing me. This thing is so bitter.
As he takes another sip.
I'm comparing
compared to the IPA. I don't. Mine's in the fridge, so.
Yeah, it feels.
This has like a softness on the palate too. I'm not getting like any kind of a sharp bitter bite or anything. Greg, you said it's a little too bitter for you. I think the bitterness is fine for me. And again, the asparagus thing, it's only on the aroma, and aroma is most of what we get on flavor, but it's not that bad on the flavor for me. For the asparagus,
as long as my pee doesn't stink after I drink this beer, I'm fine with it.
I heard that doesn't happen to everybody.
Yeah, it's like a chromosome thing, or like
it's also gene. Like some people cilantro.
Some people can smell it.
Right?
Some people can smell it. Some people can't smell it. So some people can have the thing or not,
but they can't smell it.
Some people can smell it or not.
A lot of genital talk today.
So I'm both. I can produce it and smell it.
Me too.
On my pee.
Congratulations.
I'm saying I heard it's like that, and then like cilantro, some people it tastes like soap to them for some reason.
Oh, totally, yeah, definitely. That's a game changer.
It's so weird, dude.
For me, it's time. Time to me smells like mold.
Oh yeah,
which tastes like fungal mold.
Weird.
So I'm like anything that's cooked with thyme, I feel like I can't eat this because it tastes moldy.
It's so weird when you realize like how how differently everyone else in the world perceives the world. You're like, oh, this is how things look and smell and feel. It's like, nah, other people like completely perceive shit totally different. It's a weird thing to think of. Yeah.
Organoleptically, we're all different.
It's like politics and stuff like that too. It's like, how can people vote for that?
We all taste different.
Speaking of, I'm getting a lot of text right now, John. There's some crazy shit going on.
You guys want to pause? Some weird shit happened at a Trump rally.
Yeah.
What happened?
He got shot.
There's some sort of like noises, and Trump's ear was bleeding, and they rushed him off the stage and
Trump
shit.
got shot?
That's what it's saying.
No, he's not shot or dead, sadly. But anyways,
I mean, I felt weird because when we were doing the blood orange beer, my phone was like zzz, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Google News says Trump shot on side of head in apparent assassination attempt.
Holy shit.
That seems crazy though, dude. If somebody wanted to assassinate him at that open of a spot, they could have easily, right? Like,
I hate Trump, but I'm not calling for him to be murdered.
No.
Fuck that.
That's crazy.
That is not cool.
That's wild.
I mean, Hannibal Lecter getting him, that's one thing, but the late great Hannibal Lecter.
I mean, I won't mourn his death, but I'm not advocating for his death.
No, that's crazy.
No, not at all. For anybody, for sure.
Oh, I'm looking at
Wow.
his ear's bleeding.
Yeah, I didn't want to derail the show, so I didn't bring it up.
Dude, you know, this can only help him, right? Because he's going to be like, look at me, I'm
of course.
a tough guy.
Yeah, he'll be a superhero now.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Wow.
Everything right now. God, we just did a 180. I was having
John,
those
get back to
goodliest
the
show
beer.
I've had in months, and now
Get back to the beer. Get back to the beer.
All right, shake it off.
That's why I didn't bring it up. That's why I didn't bring it up.
Taylor Swift it, buddy.
Shake it
Damn
off. Shake it off. And Richard Simmons died.
I know.
Gary,
he Gary,
where are you?
Gary! Gary, where are you?
Where are you? Fucking Richard Simmons. He had been like a recluse for like the last 10 years, right? Like he was just holed up in his house.
Yeah.
I think he's just old and sick.
Well,
aren't we all, Jason?
Dead. I would assume maybe he had cancer or something and decided.
They said he fell down, so that could have had something to do with it.
I think you just like you're a person who's known for being fit and active your whole life, and then you're like old and sick and feeble. Like you probably just want to be like, you know what, leave me alone. I don't want people to be like, wow, look at how bad he got. Like, you know, like. Anyways,
so
overall,
this
liquid gravity IPA.
Hold on, let's have like a stop, reset, and fucking cut all that shit.
Okay, let me go. I'll bring it back. So this liquid gravity IPA, drinking it out of the can as opposed to pouring it in glass, for me, totally different beer. And it cuts out sort of that. There's like this dank asparagus thing on the nose that it's just not my thing quite so much. So I think some beer is better out of the can, turns out, for me. I don't know. That's kind of awkward.
I still get it out of the can too. It's not my cup of tea, I guess. Not my glass of beer.
Yeah, the bittering is a little. I don't know. We go from like Highland Park and Green Cheek and all these like fabulous breweries that have like they're dialed in their bitterness to the point where they're so pleasant and so delicious, and so fruity, and anytime you're presented with something that's a little bit more old school, it really comes off like, wow, okay, it's a Polaroid picture of like beer 5 years ago.
Shake it.
Does that
like
make
a
sense?
Polaroid picture.
It's analog.
I fucking love this beer.
I like this beer, dude. Me too.
Like, I love this beer. Like, this is fucking great. Like, I would keep this in my fridge all the time. Like, really? It's been a while since a beer has divided the show like this, where like, I think it's fucking great. It just hits everything I want from an IPA. It's a little bit sticky and dank, which I like, but not in like the caramel hop old school way. Like it's like a new version of sticky dank. And like I love Columbus hops too. Like I love a dank IPA. So this is fucking good, dude.
What do you think of it compared to like Swami's, which is also a staple in your fridge?
This is smoother. It's less bitey. The hop character is more new school, and it's more new school and less pronounced, or more new school and less
brash.
And less piney. Like it does have that stickiness, but it has that modern kind of aroma and flavor. Like I'm really into this beer, dude.
All right.
Setting aside the asparagus note, I just wish that was the only. That's the only thing I'd take out of this. I'm not digging that.
Dank asparagus beers for me. Like the second I smell it, I'm like, I'm out. It's just my personal taste, you know.
I like this beer.
And like I said,
why do you like the beer?
Because I fucking like it, Greg.
What? Give me
because asparagus doesn't bother
some bullet points.
And I like Mosaic, and I like Citra, and I like.
Well, I eat asparagus.
IPAs.
Why do you like Mosaic and Citra though? What's the
Greg? Look it.
What is the thing? What's the thing that gets you, Joe?
I want to
understand. I want to learn your palate.
I like. I think I like the fruitiness of it. I like the Mosaic part, the blueberry. There's a little bit of dankness to it, but it's also light. It's not heavy. It's just I don't know. I'm a West Coast IPA guy. I like it.
Okay.
The asparagus thing doesn't
for me.
I don't smell asparagus on the nose. I had said like funky catty Simcoe-y, so I don't have that asparagus thing that's bothering me.
And that equals our tasting note. I mean, that's like a long time for Brewers tasting note, the dank asparagus thing. But we used to joke that like asparagus was like had like listening to Bob Marley and stuff. Just
there's been times where I've smelled like something that reminds me of like boiled greens. Like I always said dinosaur.
Yeah, boiled greens. Okay, good call. That's a really good call.
And like this doesn't
that's exactly what I pull out of this. Yeah.
Dude,
right. So I can see why you don't like it much. Yeah.
That's a good
dank
way to
asparagus, boiled greens, same.
Because like
dank
when we used to,
just sounds funnier.
Dank asparagus is great.
Yeah,
but like
referencing that asparagus IPA show, that was June 20th, 2017, season 4, episode 25 with Daniel Fernandez. Turtle Brewing. I haven't seen him around.
Bean, yeah. It was a bean
on the interwebs. It was Bean Turtle.
Or like if you guys, I don't know if you guys are fans of artichokes. Like when you steam artichokes and you open the thing and you get that green, you know, like that.
That's the note.
Yeah,
it's
like steamed.
That's the dank asparagus for me.
Yeah, it's like
that's
but
what
I don't get that in
this.
Yeah, I don't get that in the nose of this, which is probably why I like it more than you guys do.
I think you and Jason.
I love artichokes.
Jason and Joe have that similar thing where they pull out more of that cat piss thing from the Simcoe, and
that smelled more like catty, earthy, whatever to me. I just that's my problem. I don't know the exact words to use when I say earthy. Like I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just a smell.
Yeah,
and I tried to like describe like earthy to me is like when I walk outside after it rains. That smells like earth to me.
Like I could say this smells like earth, but then drink a beer with bad Idaho 7 hops and say that also smells like earth, but in a different
potatoes.
Way. Yeah, it
smells like root vegetables.
Yes. Or like I equate it to like my one buddy who moved away. He used to have, he was such a green thumb, and like I would go out in his backyard and see what he was growing, and like just smelling topsoil and like all that stuff is like earthy to me. Like I don't know what earthy means. So
I think it's a broad, like wide encompassing kind of term, and you get the general idea when you say earthy. I think.
And I think the thing with discussing flavor, right? Like we were talking about how everybody perceives the world differently, right? And so if people will make fun of when people will say, "Oh, this reminds me of like wet rock or some shit." Like people do some pretty, I think somebody clowned on you earlier, like with like a Joe descriptor or something. When your homies in the chat, they're like, bring out here you go, Wet Stones. It's a Joe throwing out greatest hits, Wet Stones.
Well, so that that's kind of a joke on another person, but it's fine.
But I think it's all just trying. There's not like an official language for any of this, right? Like we're all just trying to kind of convey like, how is my experience, like how do I relate that to the world, right? And I think just using the terms that seems to work for you makes sense, right? Like it because someone else is going to relate and experience that way, and someone else is going to experience a completely different way. So
it's just
the fun of this whole thing.
Yeah, when I started drinking beer, like I would equate shit from when I was growing up, and that's why when I first started drinking hazy beer is when I realized it smelled, and I said Flintstone vitamins, because that was like one of my favorite things as a kid. Like I would fucking open up a bottle of Flintstone vitamins.
Strong and growing.
And I would smell it.
Before I got into beer podcasting, I watched Gary Vaynerchuk's Wine Library TV. And one thing that is stuck in my brain is he was smelling a wine. He goes, "This smells like the bike aisle at Kmart."
There you go.
And I'm like, I know exactly what that smells like.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Rubber and kind of stale air, and but it's such a unique smell.
And
Did you guys know they still sell Flintstones vitamins?
Of course they do. The greatest vitamins of all time.
Do kids even understand what Flintstones is?
The Flintstones was my parents' generation.
They're vitamins.
I watched Flintstones. What are you talking about?
And I'm middle-aged.
I'm not your kid.
But even though John hates it, like pesto is one of my favorite things because I love basil so much. And one of the first times, dude, one of the first times I drank green from Treehouse, I smelled basil and I'm like, fucking, this smells like basil. This is amazing. Yes.
Italian basil, dude. Oh, yeah. Man.
Dude, it's my favorite herb of it's my second
in cocktails. Oh my God. Yeah.
I got a basil plant from Sprouts for like $1. They had like too many of them and they were just giving them away. It's like this big ass plant. It's in my kitchen right now. It's great. I put that shit on pizza.
I tried having basil in my backyard a long time ago. My Jack Russell was just like, I fucking love basil too, and ate all of it.
My shit's just in the kitchen. It's on the kitchen kitchen counter. Basil. I just got basil right there. If I need something for food, I just take a little chop off and I make a pizza, make some pasta, do whatever, dude.
It looks like John and I are tapping into the next can.
Speaking of my favorite herb of all time.
Yeah, so up next is another IPA.
Basil is a close second.
Legalize it.
This
one's called It's 419. Got a minute? And it's a collab.
We're hitting all the funny numbers today.
I will say, dude, listen, I like the name of this beer. Usually I don't like punny stuff, but this is, I mean, whatever.
Dude, I would imbibe the marijuana if I could, but if I get hurt at work, I'm fucked.
Hold on. Is this a collaboration with Megan's Organic Market?
Oh, so I'm hoping it's going to be Megan the Stallion.
Is that
a weed shop?
There you go.
Oh, no.
Jason, can you Google Megan's Organic Market?
Yeah, I can. I got 2 monitors.
So
there's no date on the can.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's a dispensary. Wait, there's one in Corona? Oh, shit.
Oh, snap.
Megan's.
What does this smell like, Greg?
Wait, have we ever had a beer that was a collaboration with a weed store?
No, I don't think so.
That's a first for the show, dude.
I can't figure out what that smells like.
That rules. Also, Megan's Organic Market is a great name for a weed store because, like, even NIMBY cities will be like, "Yeah, okay, we like organic markets."
Okay. No, I legit just thought it was like a market that was their friends with.
It's a market, John.
It's a dispensary, dude.
But you're right, Jason. That's fantastic marketing. Just call it a market. And where are you going? Oh, I'm going to Megan's. What's that? Oh, it's a market down the street. Okay. Can you pick me up some milk? I wasn't going to stop by there, but okay.
Hey, my shitty city finally started allowing weed stores. There's there's a one open now and a second one opening soon.
Well, all right.
Seems like they would have
weed
been
shopping
like on that, earlier, like mobile.
No, every suburb is like, we don't want weed stores in our fucking city because they bring an undesirable element, and so they're all in like unincorporated areas.
We don't want that in our city because it brings in so much money.
Yeah, because Fontana is, it's a highbrow culture there.
Hey, now, Greg,
you're from Rialto. Come on now.
What?
I grew up there.
Hold on. What? 5916 says, random question. What happened to session 185? Did we skip one?
I don't know.
Should be on the YouTubes. I had to take it down temporarily because if you remember, I showed my photos album and there was some stuff in there that I had to blur out. But I think I made it public again. It should be.
I'm looking forward to 187.
180. Wait, what session are we on now?
186.
That's 186.
Oh, okay.
187.
Is it
187?
Are there any breweries in Fontana that have ever made a beer called Joe Fontana or no?
There are no breweries in Fontana, period.
Oh. Joe Fontana seems like it would be like the perfect beer for that city.
It's like a Joe Montana thing?
Yeah, or like Tony Fontana, something like that.
Every Fontana reference has to have Tucky in it because that's how everyone jokes about Fontana.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Joe from Beer Patrol says 185 is on the YouTube page. John.
It's a joke that hasn't been relevant since the 80s, but people keep doing it.
My parents met.
What 5916? I don't know what you're asking. What happened to 185? It's
what?
Does anybody else see like the lady that with her mouth open, like with the thing moving when you see Watt, W-A-T? What? There's that like bird looking lady. Bird lady, that's so mean.
Bird lady.
What? She looks like a bird.
Who?
The old lady, the Watt lady. Come on.
The Watt lady?
Yes, you've seen that meme
like
before.
She's gonna like Watt to spit on that thing. God, I hate that.
I hate it. I hate you, Jason.
I hate that fucking thing.
I looked up what late. Oh, I see. Okay.
Does she not look like a bird? She looks like a bird.
No, she looks like a ghoul.
Oh no!
Right?
That lady's dead.
Her and Lady Gaga came up for some reason.
Oh, really?
A lot of Lady Gaga photos.
I can't figure out what this beer smells like.
Oh, really?
You got
for
it?
Me, yeah, it's got that sort of like what's that cereal? Fruity Pebbles meets papaya.
See, I was gonna say like Starbursty or something like that.
Starburst, yeah. It's that
Fruity Pebbles, by the way, greatest
what
cereal
hops
of all
are in
time.
there? Yeah, right.
Are you a Fruity Pebble guy?
I love Fruity Pebbles. It's like eating air and flavors.
And
I'm more of a Cocoa Pebbles guy.
Dude, the Team Cocoa right here, man. There you go.
You're the stout version. You guys are the stout version. We're the fruity version. We're the IPA version.
How long until we have an IPA breakfast cereal? It feels like the natural progression of things.
Name the brewery that's going to pull that off first. Probably Treehouse.
Rogue.
Yeah,
well,
Rogue,
we've definitely had breakfast cereal IPAs, but have we had an IPA breakfast cereal?
Like, here's your Citra O's. Citra O's for breakfast.
Have you guys ever? Gosh, I can't even believe I'm saying I've done this before, but like, ever like in your college days, like you had cereal but you didn't have any milk, so you used beer in it. Have you ever done that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
No,
or water.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'll do
water. You dry. You dry at that point.
I know someone who has put beer in cereal.
Is their name Joe?
Maybe.
So, have we talked about this beer at all?
No, yeah.
Yes, it smells like Fruity Pebbles and Starburst.
Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, get a little bit of like papaya, fresh papaya.
So for me, this is
sort of weird.
a version of the IPA that I prefer. Like, it doesn't have that
agree.
boiled greens aroma.
Smell like asparagus, Jason.
It's nice, and I think it's got a more bitter bite to it that's lingering, which I prefer. The other one I feel was a little, and not in a bad way, but it was a little more rounded and softer with the bitterness. Again, not saying anything bad about it, but this is more up my alley than the previous one.
I'm the opposite, where I like this. I think this is a pretty good IPA, but I thought the other one was a great IPA.
That's crazy. Wow. I mean, you're not crazy.
John and I agreed, and you guys are on that boiled fucking veggie train. I don't know.
Clearly, we're demolition of WWF, and you guys are like the fucking British Bulldogs, and we'll win.
The
there you
Bulldogs.
go. Am I Axe or the Smasher?
Who do you want to be?
I don't know. Crush.
Remember when they brought Crush in? I'm like, you can't get rid of Axe. He was the best.
That's his whole move. He would just like crush people's head.
He would just
until they gave up. What an easy move. That's a baller move for a pro wrestler. He's like, my finishing move is I just pretend to squeeze their head and then they give up. Like, he doesn't have to like Hulk Hogan like got spinal damage because he landed on his ass 10,000 times.
Oh my god. Poor dude.
Like literally, it was
smarter,
like
not harder.
He had back problems because his move was jumping all the way up, putting his legs up, and landing on his ass, and his spine just got compressed.
Man.
Where like, if your finishing move is just doing this, it's like fucking genius, dude.
Of course.
It's like
I want to know the Honda. Yeah.
Fuck you, Greg. Joe, do you know the E Honda story? Do you know what we're talking about there?
I don't.
It's relevant for Joe's Arcade. We were up at the California Craft Beer
Sacramento,
and we went to what is it called, Coin Op Tavern or some shit?
Where I beat your ass down.
That's the one downtown by where the Kings play.
Yeah, it's a barcade up there.
Dude, the last time I was there, their tap list was fucking awesome.
It's really good.
Yeah, we were there. We were drinking beer, and then it was like, let's play Street Fighter. So it's like, okay, I kind of remember Street Fighter.
Greg just spammed the shit.
And then Greg just fucking 100 hand slap spam me for fucking 3 rounds. He just like,
her.
And I was like, God damn it, stop spamming. Stop fucking spamming. God damn it. He's just like,
you win.
Do you have a Street Fighter machine, Joe?
I do.
You do? Okay.
We'll recreate it for the
come on
YouTube.
down. Yep.
Love Street Fighter.
Yeah, as far as
That
IPAs
Blanca.
go, this is one I would stock in my fridge.
Look at John. He likes this more than the IPA.
Yeah, I would not buy that IPA again, nor would I buy the Blood Orange. And it's nothing. It's not that they're bad beers.
Preference.
I think the Blood Orange is a little flawed for me because it doesn't. It's not like a beer. It's more of a Blood Orange delivery device. But this is really good.
I still think that.
Hey, can you guys hang on?
Yep.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I still feel like
so Trump got shot in the head.
Did you
Yeah, guess what Yvonne just found out.
Yeah, true.
Why not dead?
I still think, John. I think out of all these beers, I think Pale from the Crypt might be my favorite.
Pale from the Crypt is a fucking
but obvious winner of the flight, right?
That one, that one was awesome. I think like listen, I'm a low ABV guy these days. Hoppy Pilsners are my favorite, so I just want low alcohol with like a lot of flavor, and that one checks all the boxes. So, and it's completely different than the beer I remember drinking last time. Like the last time I had that beer, it was very, speaking of crystal malt, it was very like almost like brown bread. It was sweet. It was just kind of a mess of a beer. I don't know if they changed something or if I had an old can, but that beer today is fire.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, what's cool about Liquid Gravity, I think as a whole, like definitely really good skills making beers, really tasty brews. They do have their house character, and you could really tell sort of what their profile is that they're going for, sort of on the danky, fruity side of IPAs, and like sort of on the bitter side of the lagers. For me, definitely interesting brewery. I would love to go check them out sometime.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a slow trip.
I am down as fuck to go to San Luis Obispo. That'd be fun.
I go up there.
Do you guys go to Firestone
Brewers at the Madonna
as like a person that's not covering an event where I could just enjoy it instead of being worried that I'm not taking enough photos or talking to enough people to,
Slow is like an hour and a half south of Paso, but yeah.
I know. I'm just saying in that general area, if we could make it up to Firestone Walker too, that'd be fun. Because again, I've never been there as a civilian. So
Firestone, the brewery, is kind of whack now.
Is it really?
Why do you say that? I was there either last year or the year before, and it's just like it's huge. Like it's gotten even bigger. Like, no, you remember it being really big, way bigger.
I was there after the expansion. Yeah.
Is it like Russian River big?
No, it's like.
Have you been to the new? Have you been to like the new Russian River?
I haven't been to the new Russian River.
It's a fucking castle, dude.
Firestone was big for a craft brewery 10 years ago. Firestone now is like Anheuser-Busch big. Like it's a huge fucking brewery. It's like a whole city block. The whole block is like Firestone shit now. And the restaurant is pretty kind of mid. It's not.
Yeah, the restaurant could be better.
I
used to the food's not that great.
Well, I used to really like it, and I went there now, and it just I don't know. It just feels like since the Boulevard buyout, it got way bigger, and it's more of a production facility, and feels less like going to a craft brewery. I'm not super into it anymore. I wouldn't go on my way for Firestone now where I would have 5 years ago.
Wow. Did you go on a tour where you saw the barrels that they use for double barrel ale or whatever it is?
I did in the old days. Yeah, that ruled. And I remember marveling at how big the tanks were.
Well, yeah, but like huge tanks, and then it was maybe what 30 barrels, and that's it.
Yeah,
I was like, that's it. Like, yeah, that's it. Okay. I felt like it would be a lot more barrels to make that beer, and it was just like you could walk around it in 10 seconds, kind of thing. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah, Firestone Walker though, great brewery, worth visiting. But overall, Liquid Gravity, I'm looking forward to trying more of their beers in the future. I think from what we saw on their website, they had like, we got 6 different beers, but they had, I want to say,
a ton,
like 15.
Yeah, there's a ton of beer.
So
no, they do a lot, which I love going to a brewery when they have like 20 styles on. Like that fucking rules. Yeah. So
it'd be fun too if you guys want to do an IPA show the next time that they do the Welcome to So and So series. Like they collab with some fun breweries, and I think it's usually 4 different ones. So it'd be 4 different West Coast IPAs if you guys wanted to do that next time they do it.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun.
I will drink as many West Coast IPAs as you can provide.
I love it. I'm with you. That's how Demolition does it. We just drink fucking West Coast IPAs.
27 beers. Oh my god.
Or we could be Legion of Doom.
27 beers.
Is that Legion of Doom?
That's Legion of Doom. Yeah.
Fuck.
Hawk and Animal.
All right, you guys. I think we're done recording, right? You can stop.
Yep.
This guy's had those cool spikes they would stab people with sometimes.
Oh, the best.
Joe, did I tell you, like, I only know wrestling from the early 90s and Osmosis from my friend who's really into wrestling.
Osmosis.
But I've gone to, like, PWG with him a couple times, and it fucking ruled.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, PWG, I got pictures, they kind of telegraph it. It'll be like a dude gets set up against the ropes on your side of the ring, and then everyone is just like, oh, shit. So it's like literally you're in folding chairs, and it's like, oh, fuck. Get up and pick up your chair because they're coming over, and if you don't, like, they'll come over.
Yeah, you're getting
like they come into the crowd and shit. It ruled. I got a picture
awesome.
of like a guy flying like right at me. I was like, holy shit! It was fun as fuck. Also, every time I've been to PWG, I've seen like famous people there. Like
nice.
the guy from one of the guys from Tool is always there. Like the guitarist or some shit.
I'm telling you, man. People like to talk shit about wrestling, but everyone watches it.
I don't talk shit. I mean,
people like it. Yeah, people like talk shit about it.
Entertainment.
It's fun.
Or they're on Peacock right now, or is what service is?
Yeah,
Peacock.
Yep.
Okay, because I tried watching like WrestleMania or whatever the fuck was last year, like big event, because I have access to it because I pay for it. So I'm like, I might as well watch it. I was just like, I can't get into it.
I currently have a episode of WCW Monday Nitro going right now from like 1996.
Okay, so how does that work? Does it just you have to physically get up and like put something on? Or do you have like a Raspberry Pi that just plays shit over and over?
No. I turn the TV on and go to Peacock and then pick whatever I want to watch.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We had WCW Nitro for PlayStation 1. I think there was like a game store that did trading, and that was a game we got.
Yeah.
And it was like absolutely our favorite game. And in that game, you could hit like one of the like start or select, and it would bring in like an extra.
Someone would run in,
shit up. And I feel like every time it was Ric Flair because you would hit it and it would go, "Here comes Flair."
The best part about that game when you were picking your wrestler, like they would do a funny interview. It's like, pick me. No, don't pick me. I love that fucking game.
I have a memory from when I was like, I want to say like 11 or 12. I forgot where I was, but I was with my parents, and it was some kind of a fair or outdoor thing. I forgot what it was, but there was a tent, and there was a WWF thing happening, like in the tent. You could hear like the crowd and all the yelling and stuff. And outside of the tent, there was like a huge Spuds McKenzie blow up dog thing, and it's just something that I was like, oh, they're actually wrestling in there. I've seen them on TV, and yeah, you had to have tickets to get in and all that, but. It's one of my only wrestling memories other than going to my uncle's house to watch Mania, who is now actually he just died a couple days ago.
Oh, sorry about that.
So
when I was a kid, I went to a couple wrestling shows because when I was actually like really into it, and I think I told Joe about how I got a postcard from Hulk Hogan. It's like my
after earthquake
treasure.
Fucking shut him down.
But he got hurt somewhere else, right? He didn't actually get hurt in the ring. It was like he got another injury. And
no, he was going. I think at that point was he filming a movie? I can't remember.
It was it wasn't actually. It was fake, right? The whole thing
right. Yeah, no, he wasn't really
work. Yeah, but we went to a house show locally, and I remember the Nasty Boys were fighting. Those guys, they were dudes that were like they were punk rock, but like in the way that like 80s movies had like punk rock bad
ugly
guys.
Dudes. Like
Jerry Saggs had his one front tooth was missing.
And my dad started a chant of nasty girls, and it caught on with the crowd. And I was very proud that the chant that my dad started caught on.
So awesome.
Like the whole crowd started chanting.
I don't know your dad that well, but I've met him, and granted, he was older when I met him, but he doesn't strike me as the type of person that would start a chant.
That's fucking awesome.
Nah, he is. He was the kind of person that would start an argument with a cashier. But.
Okay.
Dude, in like 80, I think it was 86, my dad brought me to the Cow Palace in San Francisco, and I saw fucking Andre the Giant wrestle King Kong Bundy in person as a 5-year-old kid, and I will never forget that.
I was like, 86, how old are you? Okay.
Dude, those dudes were fucking massive. And there was also it was when Brutus the Barber Beefcake was, I think he was tag team partners with like Bret Hart or something back, or maybe it was Greg Valentine, and his name was Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Someone had a sign that says Brutus is a fruitcake, and I picked it up on the way, and I was like, "What does that mean?" I'm like fucking 5 or 6 year old kid. I'm like, "What is fruitcake?" I
feel bad for you laughing at that right now, but
it's
like fruitcake. Very funny.
Yeah, his name was Beefcake, and they said Brutus is a fruitcake.
I got it. Yeah,
it's well done.
Yeah, it's good. I don't even know if Cal Palace is still around.
Panic at the Beer Aisle.
I should call him Fruitus.
An emotional easy IPA.
Fruitus Beefcake.
Yeah, Fruitus Fruitcake.
I am
alter ego.
I also the last wrestling thing I did at Quake Stadium in Rancho Cucamonga, which is a very small minor league baseball stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They did like
was your graduation there, Jason?
No, I graduated at the California Speedway in Fontana.
Oh, okay.
Which is being torn down actively. Actually, it's been torn down mostly.
And first or last, Jason.
Mostly. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
But it was like it was the bad era of WWE. Is right before like the D-Generation X shit kicked off and Stone Cold and all that. So it was like Razor Ramon and like fucking Bret Hart was like their biggest guy, which like Bret Hart was fine, but he's not a carry the organization guy. But he was at that time. And
really?
It was like
I don't know.
Bret Hart's beloved by fucking smarks, but like he's not I know enough about wrestling.
I know what Mark is, but what's a smark?
The smart marks. It's the like obsessive wrestling fans on the internet who like know who the writers are and shit. They're the smarks.
Okay, got it.
What I've gathered is Bret Hart is beloved by the smarks, but like when it comes to carrying an organization, he's no fucking Hulk Hogan or John Cena or The Rock or whatever the fuck. He just wasn't that. I know, Joe. What do you think about Bret Hart?
I mean, listen, his family's legendary. He's a very upset person. He's an angry person. He was. I mean, listen, I was never a Bret Hart guy, but I respect his spot.
You didn't respect the excellence of execution?
I mean, dude, when I was a kid, I really liked the big dudes, and he wasn't like, I mean, he was, as far as like a technical wrestler goes, like legit.
Clip. There's so many good clips in this episode. And that's one of them.
I really like that Joe likes the big dudes.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know.
I love big dudes.
You cannot lie.
That was fun, man.
The number of, I don't even want to go back to this conversation, but the number of text messages on my phone is insanity right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you in like text groups?
No, I noticed like you look very distracted. Like
I am. I know it was weird.
Before.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's fine. But
during the blood orange beer, I didn't even talk because I was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like scrolling through all this stuff.
Oh God,
is it like I shouldn't ask. Never mind.
No, yeah, I don't even want to talk about it.
Not my business.
It's crazy.
I mean, you saw Yvonne's reaction, and
it's crazy and it's dumb. And
she was muted, but things were said by her, and it was like,
what?
It's like you said, John. This is not the way. Like that's not what you do.
Definitely not. No.
Definitely not.
I'd rather cholesterol and.
Have you guys ever heard of Tipping Pint Brewery?
Tipping Pint? No.
Where are they out of? They're downtown, not downtown. They're down on Highway 76 in Oceanside. I think it's a ex Pizza Port.
No, never heard of
Pizza Port guy. I'm gonna go check out their beers here in a little bit.
Oh, really?
That sounds rad.
I'm excited. I feel like anytime you go to a brewery that has a Pizza Port guy, like you're gonna get some good beers.
Yeah, it's not gonna suck, right?
Right.
Can we bring up the thing you bought the other day?
The what?
The thing you bought, the big thing you bought.
What'd I buy?
The thing?
Oh no. Well, I don't know who's next week we can or next show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if anybody's watching this.
That's why it was being.
Yeah. Next time.
Okay.
For sure.
Right.
That was fun, by the way, and it's gonna be fun,
dude. That's pretty awesome. Like,
I'm stoked, man. It's gonna be a fun surprise.
Yeah.
Was it Asteroids Cabinet?
No, we can't talk.
Dude, but are you an Asteroids guy? You like that game?
Oh, I love Asteroids. Yeah, that was my game back in the day.
Were you like a Vector guy? Did you like Tempest and Asteroids and?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Defender.
I do not have a Vector game, which bums me out. But
do you have an Joe, do you have an Ivan Iron Man Stewart's off-road?
Dude, I don't. I would love one of those. The problem with those is they have a weird like IC chip on the PCB that if it dies, you can't fix it.
Oh,
So
really?
like once those boards are gone, they're gone. Yeah. I used to have a championship sprint. Do you remember Super Sprint, the 3-player one that was the Atari game that was like Indy cars? It was like a top-down. John, can you? I don't even know how to put like pictures in the thing, but
what was the Sega? The Sega top-down racing game where you could buy upgrades and shit.
That might be Super Sprint that you're thinking of.
No,
so if you go down to present, there's like a little TV with a plus in it. You should, and it'll show you share screen. Just be,
you don't want me doing it. You don't want me
be
trying
aware
to
of
do
what's
this
on your screen. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't. Yeah, if anybody wants to, if either of you guys want to Google image Super Sprint, maybe Jason knows this game.
So
I used to have Championship Sprint.
I grew up in arcades.
I don't know
in the 80s.
Well, you were the one that we were talking about 720, and you knew what that was. I'm like, if somebody knows what 720 is, like that's awesome.
There was one machine that I was a huge skateboarder, obviously back in the 80s, but there was a bowling alley that had a 720 machine, and I would skate to the bowling alley just to play the game.
That's fucking so awesome.
It was the hardest fucking video game of all time. Like
it's because
just
the
a quarter reader.
Whoa!
It's
weird. Inception.
That looks cool.
Did you guys see like some child did like 3 900s in a competition recently?
No, didn't see that.
Like literally like a 10-year-old. Like you know how like Tony Hawk did the 900 and it was like the biggest thing like 10 years ago? Well, like a child did like 3 of them. Like literally a 10-year-old did like 3 of them like last
in front of Tony Hawk.
Yeah, once it's proven, like
do a kickflip.
You can do a kickflip.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit old for me.
John, are you sharing the screen?
Yes.
So it's funny. Yeah. So Vintage Arcade Superstore, the guy Gene who runs this place, he's in LA somewhere. Like the pricing of his games are fucking $6,500.
I was gonna say, if you're spending $6,500 no fucking console, like you're buying beers next time, dude.
No, this is like the ultimate like retail. Holy smokes! Like I don't know how he's still in business, but apparently he is.
I mean, I would assume it's rebuilt or
he's in Glendale, I think. Does it say Vintage Arcades is in Glendale? He's up there somewhere.
Joe, the one I'm thinking of was it's a top-down game. So it was like it was a flat screen, like what do they call those? Like cocktail table, but it's not a cocktail table because there's 4 wheels around it. So it was like a square. The screen was flat. It was
in the middle.
Up. Yeah, the screen was on the.
You're not thinking of no. Demolition Derby was like a black and white game. That wouldn't be.
And in this game, every time you'd win, like off road, you would be able to buy like engine upgrade or suspension upgrade.
Dude, that's Super Sprint. Are you sure? John, can you at least get a screenshot of that?
No, that looked way more old and bootleg. This was like a 16-bit looking game. Like the graphics looked like.
You said it was Sega or Atari?
Hot Rod, maybe? No, I thought it was Sega. I'm pretty sure it was Sega.
What game is that?
Is that what you want, Joe?
Yeah, that's not the game, Jason.
It's that style, but it's way more modern. It's like
that
10
game's
years
so
later.
Fucking awesome. I had the 2-player version of that, Greg, and I got rid of it I traded it, and I'm so mad. I want to know what game you're talking about.
I used to play it at Chuck E. Cheese all the time.
How rad was Chuck E. Cheese?
I would love to see Jason as a kid playing video games.
Still Chuck E. Cheese.
Well,
there is, but it sucks now.
Yeah, it's kind of whack.
You know, as a kid.
So I went there for my niece's birthday. It's kind of whack.
Was it Power Drive, Jason? No.
I feel like it was an early mid 90s game because the graphics were much more modern than this.
We should change our Twitch
mid 80s
Twitch thing to video game talk now.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not opposed to it.
I mean, Greg, if you like talking about arcade games, I can talk about those all day long.
But it was definitely a top-down racing.
I grew up in arcades. Yeah,
I love it. I fucking love it because dude, like everyone always is like, oh, do kids come over and just like go nuts in your garage? I'm like, no, nobody cares about these, but
nobody cares.
The parents who come over are like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, there's a couple of in Santa Ana. There's a bar arcade. They have really good old cabinets and stuff like that, well kept. Yeah, like that's the original Centipedes, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man.
I mean, dude, we're gonna get to a point where these don't exist anymore, and it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, like the main cabinets are gonna take over, and they just never feel right.
Yeah, which is fine, but it's like whatever.
The controls never feel right.
No, nope. I wish I could figure out what game you were talking about, Jason.
God damn it! I feel like I've
Rally X.
looked it up a couple times.
No, Rally X is way too old for what he's talking about. Because you're saying you could get upgrades when nobody in the chats knows. Nobody's talking.
There's only 4 people here, so
Oh, I was
like,
hoping somebody would like.
here for a beer talk.
They logged on and they just like forgot about their web page. Just still like
our audience is people who died in front of
they're
the
like,
computer.
yeah, they're like out mowing their lawns on a Saturday right now.
I will say this: when Trump was shot, our viewer, like, we don't get a lot of viewers for the live stream, but we get around 10 on
It
average.
did cut like in half. People. Are
It
like,
went down. I mean, I was like, and I thought, why did everyone leave? What did we do? I thought we were having a good time.
We were talking about 69s and buttholes, dude. Like, come on.
I like that you can ban people via StreamYard now. That worked nice.
What happened, Greg?
I banned that one person via StreamYard.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh shit!
So if you,
that's in StreamYard. To ban user, put user in timeout, delete comment. Oh, sweet! You can moderate.
I put him in timeout, but abandoned him. But
oh my god, that is so cool! Oh wow, what's this little
I was like,
thing? When you star a comment, what is that? Are you liking their comment on Facebook?
I don't know.
Or
maybe on
Facebook, on YouTube?
On YouTube, probably.
Huh.
That's awesome.
That's neat.
Hey.
It's gonna bother me now until I figure out what this
I know it's gonna bother me too.
$450 a year. I tried looking, and it's a Sega game. Is that what you said, Jason?
It might not be Sega.
Sega.
All right, I'm going to share my screen again.
Did you know the first E3 I went to had arcade games?
Oh, really?
Holy shit! Really? When was that?
Mm-hmm.
Like the 80s?
Probably 2004 or 5. They had a
That
whole
actually
hall that was there was a whole hall that had arcade games.
Did you go as a civilian or some kind of media person?
No, I worked at Toshiba, which we're a hard drive company that supplies.
You worked for Toshiba?
Back in the day, yeah.
I think it's Sega Hot Rod is the game.
Can you share that, John?
Hang on.
I want to see if I know what Sega Hot Rod is.
Speaking of Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
A lot of
Sega Heartthrob.
Hot Rod. I'm turning my fan back on.
Yeah, turn it on.
Yeah. Let me see. This is a regular looking console.
No.
Oh no, here. How about that?
There you go. Yeah, it's a.
That's crazy.
The screen is up. The wheels are all
crazy.
there.
Wait a second. That's a mid 90s game?
I feel like it's mid 90s. The graphics were way better than the 80s games.
Really?
In my memory, yes.
Does it say on here? Rare
So
4-player
top down driver.
Well, here, what's it called? Sega Hot Rod?
Apparently, it came out in '88, so I'm wrong. But the graphics looked a lot better compared to the one you showed, the Atari one. It was like, this looks 10 years newer.
It's top down though, right?
Yeah.
That's it right there on the screen share.
Yeah,
it looks like my digestive system, to be honest.
You race around a track, avoid obstacles,
that's
make
my
sure
colon.
you don't run out of fuel, try not to be cut off by the camera.
Those are my
I think
little
if everybody else gets ahead
colon.
of you and you're way behind, like, you can actually fail because you fall off the screen.
That sucks. Yeah, but it makes sense, right? Because like Mario Kart, you kind of it's your point of view, and it's only your point of view because you're the only one playing. But when you play multiplayer, you have 4 different screens, and this is just one screen. Yeah, that sucks.
It was. They call it. It's a 4-player tabletop, and that was a version I always played.
I don't think I've ever played that game before, dude.
It was fun as hell. I loved it when I was a kid, and I've loved games where you can race and upgrade cars ever since.
Greg, were you an elevator action guy?
Oh fuck yeah!
John's an elevator action guy every day.
Yeah, that's true. John, you should be an elevator action fan.
What is elevator action?
Oh, it's one of the best Taito games ever. That's
got the
from
best music too.
82.
The music's the best.
I bet you if you saw it, you would know what it is. Well, did you play arcade games back in the day?
I did not. No.
Oh. Womp womp.
I have heard of this game.
We didn't have a lot of arcades around here. We had donut shops that had Mortal Kombat machines.
Yeah, a lot for me too. Like, I mean, you said Chuck E. Cheese in the Bay Area, there was Bullwinkle's, which was better than Chuck E. Cheese because they had better games.
Bullwinkle's, yes.
Bullwinkle's. There was a Bullwinkle's in Montclair.
Was it really? Oh,
it became
every
family
bro,
fun
every
center.
birthday. Every birthday was at Bullwinkle's.
Joe, let me tell you, there's a big fucking sign on the Family Fun Center right now. Under new management, Bullwinkle's is back. It's
no way, really?
Again.
What?
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome. Dude,
there
is a YouTube video.
4B at Bullwinkle's, dude. We're gonna go to the go-karts. We're doing everything.
For Bullwinkle's.
There's actually 2 cool YouTube videos. There is a walkthrough of a Chuck E. Cheese in like 1985, where a dude is walking through Chuck E. Cheese before it opens, and he walks into like a manager's room, and the guy's like, "What is that? One of those like camera things that you're filming with?" Which is awesome. And then there's also a Bullwinkle's walkthrough of like the one in Milpitas from like 86.
Kid's got his hands up.
And I was like, dude, that's the one that I used to go to.
Bowling. There's attractions.
Oh yeah, this is so different now. They have
you
bowling.
Got pizza.
There?
They're rebuilding it. Right now.
Has anyone as an adult actually had Chuck E. Cheese pizza? Because when we were kids, like that shit was good, but it had to have been terrible pizza.
I remember being like notoriously bad, but then I had some like
pretty bad.
A while ago. It was fine.
It's made by like teenagers that don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think Yvonne went there.
It's a step down from like pizza.
Little Caesars is not bad.
Little Seizures is what I call them.
Like, dude, listen. When you had like end of baseball season parties and you had to feed 14 kids, you go to Little Caesars, $5 a pizza. Like that shit was the best.
Yeah, dude, I have hard Little Caesars nostalgia. That sounded weird, but like because we had one like that was a 2-minute drive from our house, and so my parents would be like, "You want pizza?" Yes, I want pizza. I never not want pizza. And they'd come back with like the square Little Caesars, the burnt fucking edges on the crust. Oh,
yeah.
I gotta watch a YouTube video on how to make cheap Little Caesars pizza. That's what I'm gonna do.
Back in the day, they used to do like the sheets where it was like squares, and it was like 8 squares in the Little Caesars pizza. Do you remember that, John?
Yeah. It was really fucking good. I don't know.
Nowadays, it's just all circular pizza, I think.
Look, I had some Chuck E. Cheese recently, and it was fine. It wasn't the best pizza, but it wasn't the worst.
I mean, listen, I ate like Red Baron pizza and shit, like frozen pizza, growing up, like whatever.
It's a step above frozen pizza.
Yeah. I do
honestly,
think
I'll eat cheese on a
bright
tortilla.
lighting in here.
Like it's with sauce. I'm
not a pizza snob, dude. Like I'll fucking eat pizza. Like there's shitty pizza, and there's like it's pizza,
dude.
What you do is get some pita and you throw some sauce on it.
I've done
cheese.
Done it.
Yep. Throw some broccoli and shit on there.
What's that old saying? What is it? Pizza's like sex. Even when it's bad, it's still good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I've had bad on both of those, but yeah.
And you're still stoked. You're like, fuck, I had pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I've had some that were just actually bad, but it's not a story for the podcast.
I would like to hear that story someday.
Joe, ask me in person. I got a story for you.
I wish you would have shared that story last weekend.
It can only be told at a dive bar. So the next time we go to a dive bar, Jason.
We got to be in a real shithole for you.
I'll take you to a better dive bar.
I've got a dive bar.
No, Greg, I feel like I said something earlier. I didn't mean to insult the bar. The place was fine.
Oh, the bar is fine.
It was just, again, the people that pissed me off. So
that dude's fired up right now, bro. It's
a professional drinking environment.
Oh yeah, considering what happened today. Yeah.
Oh, that dude is fucking stoked.
He like saw that and he got in his truck and drove to the bar.
It is funny though, John, because I think you're not often out of your element, and so you get a little bit more uncomfortable. Like you're not as used to being in different.
No, you're right.
That's not your brewery full.
You are
so it's like oh yeah, John is like way more uncomfortable being out of his element than than
to be honest, like I wasn't like. Because when he's like, hey, he asked me about my hat, I didn't respond in a way implying that I was intimidated by him. I was just like, fuck, don't talk to me. And so
what hat were you wearing? That one?
This hat. And he's like, oh, it's a dope hat. Where'd you get it? And I go, at the brewery. He's like, what?
Oh, John.
I'm like, Greg, stop. And I was just like, I do not want to fucking engage. It was bad enough that Yvonne put that fucking hat on. And
that was the best, honestly.
I didn't even see all that. I was doing.
And then, like,
I saw Yvonne throw his hat on. I was like, "Fuck yeah, Yvonne!"
Nichols like, now it's a fucking dive bar.
I'm telling you,
John. I do get the impression that like you were at some point gonna have to get in a fight on Yvonne's behalf. Like she's gonna start a fight, and you're gonna have to be in a fight.
I don't fight, but the dude was really implying that he wanted to fight, and I'll throw down with a fucking.
Really?
John's got the old "don't start no shit." That
we're all chilling.
No, fuck him. Place was fine though. That guy sucks.
Food was good. They had
Food was bomb.
They had a $6 fucking schooner or shock top I should have bought.
Schooner.
Again,
I love
the
that
garlic
word.
guys were incredible.
$6 gin and tonic. Come on.
What's funny is I go to other bars and the schooner is the middle size before the big old mug.
Oh yeah.
Jason, did you ever go to Schooners in Colton? The actual bar Schooners?
No,
I remember that place.
Oh man, they had
Fucking
shows
Colton,
there.
dude.
Like I went to so many shows there. So good.
I've
And
been
they had
meaning to try
like
out-
everything was served in the schooner.
I've been meaning to try out Liam's Pub over there. Like it's an Irish pub that's kind of a shitty dive that I've heard is one of the spots around here, but I've never been.
Colton or
Colton, yeah.
the
Or maybe
Colton near
Grand
Grand
Terrace.
Terrace or the Colton near Colton High School?
Well, it's Colton, Grand Terrace, that fucking area, you know, like the
Well,
South
there's
San
Colton High
Bernardino
School
area.
Colton, and then there's Grand Terrace Colton.
Motherfucker, I don't know the ins and outs of Colton. It's like
Dude, I lived in Grand
it's
Terrace,
a
that's
one
the reason I
exit
know.
fucking town. I don't fucking know.
No,
Okay,
it's not
so
one
my
exit. There's
my
the
dad
Colton off the 10, and then there's a Colton.
my dad
off,
worked at Colton Cement. My dad worked at Colton Cement his whole life,
Oh, really?
and same with my grandpa. Yeah, and
That's
my
fucking cool.
my first girlfriend ever lived in Grand Terrace.
Nice.
So I know the difference between Colton and Grand Terrace is it goes up the hill. So there's Fiesta Village on the bottom of the hill.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then
Still there.
once you go up the hill, that's Grand Terrace.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
But if you keep
Is
venturing
it up the hill
down,
or down the hill?
you get into High Grove, which
It's Purdue.
I
Yeah,
have
that's where
a
the
friend.
crack
I have a friend
happens.
who said, "You know how tall the grass grows in High Grove?" I'm not going to do it, but just imagine how tall the grass grows in High Grove using your hand. If I were to show you, and I'm
It's
like,
about
okay,
yeah, balls.
Oh, it's a Nazi thing.
Balls
Okay,
back.
I get
yeah,
it.
it's a Nazi thing.
John,
know.
you're a vegan. Did you know that
John is not
part
vegan.
of the reason you're a vegan by marriage?
John is
Did you
John's
know that
cheating.
as part of
You'll have
the part of the reason that all the vegan options keep coming to Loma Linda is because there's like a huge Seventh-day Adventist population there.
Oh,
So,
So
like,
Loma Linda Hospital
they
is
got like
so
the
good.
Beyond Burgers first. They got like the Beyond stuff at Del Taco
Oh,
first.
good.
All
Dude,
that
there's
shit
a-
there first because there's like a huge vegetarian vegan population.
There's an
The
actual
vegan stuff
Oh,
at
wow,
Loma
that's
Linda
dope.
Hospital and that whole center is so good. I mean, that's
There's-
where my mom died, but I had the
Jeez.
food there, and it's really
I
fucking good.
don't know what Seventh-day Adventist. I don't know anything about it except for that apparently they don't eat meat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
the
a whole
Seventh-day
faux meat line
advertisements.
called Loma Linda. John, have you had any of the Loma Linda meat stuff?
Yes, we have. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad at all.
Loma Linda's dope.
Yeah.
Never been.
I
If you
mean,
get
I
sick,
wouldn't.
it's the place to
there's
go.
nothing-
That's all it's-
If you
There's
get
a
sick,
pretty
go to
good
Loma Linda.
Firehouse subs there if you like Firehouse subs. but,
Nah, they're balls.
Yeah,
what?
they built
Firehouse
a-
subs is good. I like
Next time you guys come to Anaheim, I'll take you down Brookhurst, which is the little Gaza, and there's really good falafel joints.
Greg,
Some of
there
the
used-
best.
There
I
used
could
to be
fuck up some falafel.
falafel's good.
Little
There used
They
Gaza
got
to
good-
as in,
how's the
like
tahini?
Palestine, Gaza?
They got
I mean, they just call it Little Gaza. There's
but
all
it's-
kinds of different cultures all the way down the street of Brookhurst
okay.
that are.
how's the tahini though? I fucking love.
Oh
tahini.
my god, dude! Some of the best, dude. There's a place called Sababa that just slays it. Oh my
I could
god,
fuck up some tahini, dude. That's so
I
good.
loved it.
fucking so fucking good, dude.
Greg,
No,
there was
dude,
there
when I
was-
worked in LA, there was like a Mediterranean like food truck that sold out in front of my work, and I would go and I would get like it was like a pita with falafels and hummus, tahini, and
Oh,
wait, are you thinking? Wait, are you thinking of
and tabbouleh salad?
tzatziki, not tahini?
No,
Tahini's
tahini,
different.
like
Okay.
tahini. It's like a lemony
It's sesame.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sesame
lemon.
based cream sauce.
Because a lot of
Trader
Mediterranean
Joe's-
places.
Trader Joe's used to sell this tahini that was like fucking peanut butter like texture. It
Mhm,
was
mhm.
so goddamn good, and they don't sell it anymore, and I'm fucking mad.
I made my
Yeah.
own tzatziki about a month ago for
Did you?
a sandwich I made.
Tzatziki is like Greek yogurt and cucumber, and that
Yeah.
and
yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
pretty
good.
easy.
But tahini is like this like lemony sesame.
It's creamy.
Sesame
It's a
thing.
cream
It's
sauce.
so savory. It's so good. Tahini.
And then we
I
also
love it.
got to go hit the Ethiopian food
Ooh,
and
Ethiopian food is so
bust
good.
it.
Hell yeah, dude!
That's
I'll fuck some
not vegan
up.
though.
A lot of the Ethiopian food is though.
No, they use a lot of ghee.
A lot of
Yeah,
ghee.
a lot of
but
ghee.
Yeah.
Dude, there was a place in Portland that had Ethiopian food that had a whole vegan menu. It was fucking awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they call it vegetarian, but
Yeah.
It's vegetarian because again, ghee is dairy, but
yeah.
Ethiopian's fucking
Does the
pretty good
ghee
when
make
I've made
that
it.
much of a difference? Like,
It
I mean,
tastes
it's a fat
does.
source.
It tastes
Really?
buttery. So
Yeah.
ghee is basically clarified butter. So
Yeah, I know.
That's
I'm
savory
just
kind of
saying-
fat
tasty.
source.
yeah,
Shelf-stable.
it's got a big taste. It like when you cook with ghee, your whole kitchen smells like butter. Like
Can
more
you
than if you cook
clarify-
with butter.
I mean, you probably can't clarify vegan butter because it's
Clarifying is removing the fats, right?
Right.
So
I mean-
or removing the milk solids or whatever, so the fats can melt.
I
Some
can
shit like
Google
that.
if they have vegan menu, but I don't know.
I've had 6 beers. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm feeling all of them too.
I didn't have a dump bucket. I just drank them like a man.
Same.
Like a fucking
The
man.
Nagel
Greg, I
dump
was going to
bucket
ask you.
is very thin.
There was a place in Anaheim when I worked up there. It was, I can't remember the name of it. They had good breakfast sandwiches. I think it was called Winton's. Is there a place called Winton's still?
Never heard of it.
Damn it.
Wins. I mean, now everybody goes to Windsor Browns, which is the best sandwich
Joe.
place ever.
you got to go.
Bro,
Oh,
we gotta
God.
figure out, can we do a show with them somehow?
We have to.
Windsor, yeah, fuck yeah,
It'll be
I
our first food
guarantee
and
he'd
beer
be
show.
down with it. That would be amazing.
they would
Like,
love that. Yeah,
Does he have sandwiches we can eat?
Of course. Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They have a full
Dude,
vegan menu.
and the sandwiches at Windsor Browns are like Bob's Burgers sandwiches. They all
Oh,
have
nice.
like funny names that
Yeah.
like they're
And they're-
great.
They're
They took
huge
me
and
there
delicious.
for my birthday. 2023? I want to say, or
Couple years
2022.
ago,
I
yeah.
think it was like right after the COVID hangover, so it was
Yeah.
like one of the first times we'd hung out. Yeah.
And they bought
We
me
hit
like
that-
$150 bottle of goose. That
Goose,
was
Oh, nice.
It was a
From-
like
it
a
was like a-
20-year-old goose. It was great.
yeah. Oh,
That's fucking awesome.
served. Oh,
I would
yeah.
do that.
Their tap was amazing.
saying, I was telling Angela, I was like, I wish we were getting up and going on the train today to go up to Orange County again.
Come on down anytime.
we're going wine tasting tomorrow with some friends.
You going to Temecula?
Temecula, yeah. You want to come?
Nice. I would love to do that, but we're doing the kids are coming home on Monday, so we're
that's right.
tomorrow
That's
is going to be a shit show.
Right on.
You got to get that one less session in. And
Go have fun tonight. Tonight. What's on
Same.
your what's the plans tonight, Joe?
Tonight will be the night that I will fall
Oh,
for
you're
you.
just going to the brewery. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
again.
Dude, Jason, I don't know if I told you, our first dance at our wedding was a secondhand serenade song, and I
No
fucking bought.
shit?
Yeah, so I bought tickets to see them live a couple years ago at House of Blues and surprise Angela. We went. It was fucking awesome.
Oh,
Joe,
that's
you're a
big
little bit of a
points.
secondhand serenade. You're a little bit of an emo kid. Have I told you about Scott Windsor and
Oh,
emo
yeah.
and all that shit?
No, nuh-uh.
Yeah, he's,
Okay, so
Here we
Scott
go.
Windsor of Windsor Homebrew
legit.
and Windsor Browns was in Umbrellas, and also he had a like solo project called the Lindsay Diaries.
Oh, really?
They were like
back when
think very Dashboard Confessionally.
Dude,
back when
and
Jason wore
Dashboard Confessional is about to
eyeliner.
play at Soma, dude. I want to fucking go so bad.
Oh, I've seen them like 10 times. They're like they're probably worth seeing again now. Like 5 years ago, they were playing a lot of their like weird later albums that were kind of Christian-y, and they had a fan base for those. But I think all those kids moved on, and now
I just
they're,
want to
like,
hear "Remember to Breathe" live, and I want to hear.
yeah, they're going back to the old heads now.
What's the other one?
so-
Don't something.
Yeah, the Lindsay Diaries, Trust Kill Records, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, there it is. That's Scott right there, dude.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the
and-
dude who we were talking to last weekend.
yeah, and
dark hair. Wow.
It's
Doesn't look
funny
like him.
because we were talking about another emo band. We were talking about American football, and how I was like, yeah, the Nothing Feels Good book, like the definitive book about emo. I was like, they're not even in that book. He's like, I'm in that book. I was like, oh no shit. It's so fucking cool. Like he's such a cool dude, man.
Yeah, aside
listen
from being a
to
great
Umbrellas.
musician, he's just a great dude. Like, and he's into beer, which is even better.
I love people who are into
MVP
beer.
of the beer scene, dude.
All right.
All right, I gotta bounce because I gotta go to a pool party. It's supposed
Same.
to be there at 5, and it is 5.
I'm gonna go to your
so-
pool party. I'm gonna
Where's
crash
the
it.
pool party, Jason?
in
Crash it.
Riverside.
Oh, okay.
It's
Cool.
at my friend Maria's house, or my wife's
up,
friend
Maria?
Maria's. Here's the thing: Joe, she had never heard the song "Dear Maria, Count Me In."
I was gonna say we'll tell her I have her picture, and
I'll go with you.
I'm coming with her.
Yeah, and I'm like, you never heard that song, and I always reference it, and
does
she's
she know
always
there's
like,
a story at the bottom of the bottle? Like
she doesn't. She doesn't.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
What a fantastic song. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to duck out. I don't think we're recording another episode this month because Joe's going out of the country.
Didn't we wait, hold on a second. Before we blame me, didn't we already do 2 shows this month?
No, well, let me finish. We're not doing another show because we did 2 shows. And, okay, Joe's going out of the country. And
out of the country? I'm just going up north.
I thought you were going to Italy. Is that?
No, that's not till October.
September.
October. Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
next weekend, I'm going up to the Bay Area for a wedding, so I'll be.
I'm going to Utah.
Are you going to make it to Julian, Joe? Was that something?
No, because remember, I'm going to be gone next weekend, and then we don't come back until Tuesday. And I think you guys were going Friday or something, and I was just
Friday to Sunday.
I get back Thursday, and I'm like, I can't fucking just come home.
Jason.
I'm going to Utah on Sunday.
Jason.
And then I'm coming back Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm like, I can't just come home and then immediately leave.
Are you going for work?
Sure, you can.
No, I'm doing like a car trip with all my car friends. So
I just was going to ask like who goes to Utah, but I don't know.
No,
like,
what? Utah sucks. We're not there for the culture. We're there for the scenery. So we meet in Park City and we do like scenic drives all through the state for like 3 days. And then in southwestern Utah, we then I fuck off and leave.
I heard Utah's got great dive bars, Jason.
No,
Utah pour your beer behind a sheet. They're not allowed to pour the beer in front of you. They have to put the beer taps in the back. So they walk.
Are you serious? I was just joking around. Are you serious?
They walk behind a curtain and they pour your fucking beers back there and bring them out because they're not allowed to pour the beer in front of you.
I thought that was a Mormon joke, but that's real.
No,
I thought that was a joke too.
They pour the beer behind, like it has to be out of sight. They can't just pour the beer in front of you.
Oh
These are also the people who encourage soaking, right? Okay, we're done. I got it.
Yeah, no, Utah. All right. I don't go to Utah for the culture, but the scenery, fucking amazing.
69, right?
Those Utes.
Greg, can you ask Google what's soaking? And no, don't do that.
Can you do a soaking 69?
Hey, Google, what's soaking?
According to Wikipedia, soaking is a sexual practice of inserting the penis into the vagina, but not subsequently thrusting or ejaculating, reportedly used by some members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Why does your YouTube sound like the Gorilla Flow guy?
Google makes it specific to Utah, dude. Fuck.
Oh, Siri would never do that.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
Plus one to Android.
Oh my god, you guys! I had so much fun today.
Latter-day Saints.
I had a bad Friday. Oh,
that was awesome.
Smokes.
All right. I'm ending the stream. We'll see you guys. In August,
Thanks for hanging out the whole fucking way.
Later.
Thanks everybody. Till the next
Jays.
episode.
See you guys.
Later, 3 J's.
Later.